Recording. What's poppin' and welcome back to Popcorn with Cholo, Sediaren. And today, sobrang exciting ng pag-uusapan natin as you've heard me rave and rave in the last 2-3 episodes. Today is our Taylor Swift special. So, ito na talaga. So, before anything else, let's welcome my co-hosts for the day. Nagbabalik si Miss Nathania, Chua.
Take off from last time.
Siyempre, ikaw yung nagpataas ng ratings natin. So, the clout is real. So, also introducing to the pod squad, Regine Cabato of The Washington Post.
Wow. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Kailangan lahat ng mga accolades kasama. So, ayun, today we're gonna be talking about Taylor Swift. And also, this happens to be the 13th main episode of our show. Very special. May number 13 pa ako dito. So, kung nakikita niyo sa video, ayan. We don't have any Taylor Swift merch to wear, so that's the only thing. Wala pa. Pero naka-pink kami lahat in line with the theme of Lover. So anyway, we'll be talking more about Taylor Swift and her latest album, Lover, dahil ang theme din ng Radyo Katipunan this week is quote-unquote heroes. So she is one of the musical heroes in this generation. So very fit for this week. And of course, I can't not talk about this on the show. So before that, thank you ulit sa lahat ng mga nakikinig ng Popcorn with Cholo Sediaren. Of course, thank you so much for the support, and go listen to us, all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you can find your podcasts. So if you're new here, we just talk about all the things in pop culture under the Manila heat and under the worldwide climate change also. So sad to say that, but we talk about new topics of pop culture every week. What's hot, what's not, what we love, what we don't love so much. Like Hello, Love, Goodbye. We don't love that, diba?
We don't.
Throwback to our episode. Friendship lang daw. So, ayun. Thanks again for listening, and go follow us on social media. That's at Popcorn with Cholo, at Popcorn W Cholo, for all your updates on pop culture and the show, of course. So, kamusta kayo? Anong ganap sa buhay nyo? 1 week after the release of Lover.
Okay naman. I still have Cornelia Street on loop. Oh. Yeah.
And Nat,
I mean, for me,
paalis na siya.
when I listen to an album, it's the same thing over and over again. I pick my favorite 3 or 4, and then that's it. Like I forget about the rest of the album. So same as in Cornelia Street.
But we'll talk more about that later. So, siguro, wag na tayong magpaligoy-ligoy pa. And let's go to our first segment, which is always the popcorn, or our popcorn, pop culture kernels of the week. And our reactions, is it a yes, a sax, a sad, or a pass? So, marami tayong trailer reactions this week. The very first one, it came out a few weeks ago, but we weren't able to cover it yet. So, the first one is Little Women, and it stars Saoirse Ronan as Jo March, Emma Watson as Meg March, Florence Pugh from Midsommar as Amy March, Eliza Scanlon as Beth March, Timothée Chalamet, kailangan ganun yung pagkasabi, Laura Dern, and Meryl Streep. And of course, it's directed by Greta Gerwig, who directed Lady Bird. And of course, Little Women is based on the novel from the 1800s. Is it the 1800s? So
I remember reading. Were you guys required to read this in grade school?
No, I'm from an all-boys school.
I wasn't.
Okay, like I remember reading this book in grade school, parang required, and then like, okay, it's about these little women. But I was like really surprised that this became a movie, and that this is the the third or the fourth remake already. Yeah.
So, ayun. For me, I haven't read the book because
me neither.
It wasn't really required for me. But it's free to download on iBooks if you want to check it out to iPhone users out there. It's free lang dahil it's more than 50 years since its inception.
And it's a quick read. Like, it's pretty short.
Really? Is it
short,
easy to understand for kids?
For sure. Grade school book report siya na.
Okay. So the story is basically 4 sisters and parang trying to coming of age
novel, yeah.
and
Yeah.
they try to like discover how
Yeah.
they want to go about with their lives. And Saoirse Ronan's like the lead here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's the lead because Meryl Streep is here. It's an all-star cast.
Yeah.
So for me, it's an automatic yes with Greta, Saoirse,
Yeah.
Timmy, Meryl,
Yeah.
Laura Dern, everyone. Even Florence Pugh, who was in
Yeah.
Midsommar. So obviously, it's a yes. I'm excited. I might read the book before I
Me
go
too, me
watch
too.
this.
That's also a yes for me. Like,
Same,
just
like
so
as a
excited.
as a period piece, it looks
Yeah.
cool. Like you saw the first look with the dresses and everything.
Yeah.
Like that is so
Yeah.
cute, and knowing that cast
Yeah.
and exciting stuff.
And I'm
Yeah.
really excited for how Saoirse Ronan's gonna take on the character of
Yeah.
like somebody who tries to defy social convention.
Well, it's kind of like Lady Bird.
So it's very her, you
Yeah.
know. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. So it's a yes. And after this movie, Little Women, Saoirse and Timmy are also set to appear in The French Dispatch by Wes Anderson, none other than. And
this
it's
is a
another
journalism
all-star
movie.
cast.
Yeah.
So with a journalist right here.
I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm really
So the other cast members of that include Frances McDormand, Bill Murray, Kate Winslet, Tilda Swinton, Willem Dafoe, and many, many more. Sobrang dami. Of course, that's another exciting movie to watch out
This
for.
year or next year?
Be next.
Wala pang announced
Okay,
date.
yeah.
So, ayun, I'm just super proud. Last week, I was tweeting about this trailer or another Saoirse Ronan news. And I was able to spell Saoirse correctly. I was like, wow.
Googling
Without trying to Google it.
Yeah.
She's that ingrained in my mind now. She's great. Okay, next trailer, we have The Morning Show on Apple TV Plus. So this stars Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell among other cast members. So it's one of the first Apple TV Plus series. The last minisode, we talked about the Disney Plus, the D23 news. So ito naman, Apple's answer to Netflix. Again, they're making their own streaming service with original content. And this is one of the shows. And this for me is another yes because it's super exciting. It's a it's like another journalism thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the trailer was really intense. Like, it was pretty cool, diba? The way, yung drama niya, parang morning show, tapos yun.
Yeah. It's like, because when you work in a newsroom, it's a very
Okay.
high stress environment. So
Okay,
it's very
yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
to see also how gender dynamics
Yeah.
works and that. So I'm excited to see how
And
Jennifer
very evident kasi yung gender roles nga and the parang women's narrative especially. And this is a Friends reunion because Jennifer and Reese appeared together in Friends. Reese was Rachel's sister in Friends in one of those seasons. I don't remember which exactly. So yeah, I mean this is super exciting, but yun.
Yes.
It's a yes.
It's a yes.
Because Reese Witherspoon is also killing it after Big Little Lies and everything. And Jennifer Aniston hasn't been on TV in a while, I think. So yun, looking forward to this. Next. So, ayun, another trailer that was released recently was The Politician. This is gonna be a Netflix show produced by Ryan Murphy. And it's starring Ben Platt and Gwyneth Paltrow and Jessica Lange. So it's going out September 27. Ito naman is more of like a high school drama.
Yeah.
Kind of like Glee meets Scream Queens meets like
Like there was a rom-com like about it on student politics. Yeah.
yeah. So we haven't seen one in this generation
Yes, exactly.
yet, and it stars a lot of really good people like Ben Platt from Dear Evan Hansen and Pitch Perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to see him playing the polar opposite of Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
So ngayon ano naman siya, Rachel Berry-esque character. And that's super exciting. And this is just right up my alley for sure. Because I love Ryan Murphy shows.
Yeah.
So it's a yes for me.
For me, honestly, there's so much good streaming content. I'm drowning in it.
Yeah, same here,
Parang I
same
don't
here.
know, like when based on a trailer, like will I watch it? Maybe for me, sucks. I think I would say na I might watch an episode or so, and then if I get hooked, then sige. But like I'm not necessarily sure I'm gonna follow because there's so much good stuff out there right now.
That's true.
This looks like one of them.
My list is so long
That's the
on
problem.
Netflix
That's the
and
problem.
other places.
Everyone's competing for your attention. You get quality
so
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's like the golden age of content
Yeah.
for sure, but it's bad for people trying to be productive at the very least.
Yeah.
So yun, it's a yes, and for them it's
It's a
more of a
sax,
sax.
Okay.
Okay, and then another trailer. We talked about this trailer in the last
So excited.
episode, in the last mini-sode about D23. It's the first look at Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and oh my gosh, it's
I'm
a super
so
yes
excited.
for me.
Super yes for me.
Grabe.
So, yeah.
Meanwhile, dito parang pass. Like, I don't even follow anything Star Wars. Like, The Force Awakens, I watched that, but The Last Jedi, yun yung last.
Yes.
Yeah.
No idea. Like, if you point me, like, name this Jedi, no idea. So parang nahiya ako na such a big piece of pop culture, like, have not.
It's fine. We all have those things that
that's
we
true.
haven't
That we
seen.
haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But you know, ako honestly, Star Wars, I watched all the others before,
Yeah.
but my interest only revived during this
With this
reboot.
generation, yeah. with
I
this,
mean,
yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
it's the point of this third trilogy anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, they showed everything that happened in that special look, and
Yeah.
the last bit, as we mentioned in the last minisode, was Dark Ray. So, si Regine has a lot to say
Oh
about
my
that.
god, no, because and some of your like listeners might judge me for this, but I am a big Reylo fan.
Why would they judge you?
Because some people think it's anti-feminist.
I'm up that alley.
Oh
also.
really? Give me a high five.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I'm a big Reylo fan.
As
so
someone
I'm
who has no idea of
very
the plot, they look cute.
Okay.
You know,
I'm glad you think so.
all I can
I'm really glad you
contribute.
think so because they do, and their chemistry is like just like Daisy and Adam.
And the
like,
tension is so
the tension is so crazy.
grabe. That battle
You could-
scene in Last
Yeah,
Jedi.
exactly. You could
wow.
slice the tension with the lightsaber.
With a
Like,
dual blade
I-
red lightsaber and Sith robes.
So I am so excited. Like I smell when I saw Dark Ray, I was like, I smell like a Bendemption.
We don't know.
But
Maybe
yeah.
it's maybe
Maybe it's a vision or-
yeah, yun
yeah,
nga eh.
that's
Maybe it's a
true, that's
vision. So we never know, but we're so excited. Coming out in December this year, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So ang daming feminist content out there with
Yeah.
Little Women and the morning show, and even Star Wars, you could say, with Rey as the lead
Yeah.
actress or the lead character. One of, kasi ang dami nila.
Yeah.
So
The spotlight is there and it's great.
yes. Okay, so going back to our childhood, they revealed a first look on Blue's Clues
Oh
and
my
You.
gosh.
So they revealed in this first look na Joe and Steve
We're
are
there.
coming
Yes.
back for
I
this
love
first
that. I
episode
love that.
with our hashtag Pinoy Pride. Si Josh De La Cruz as the new host.
Yeah.
I love how Ateneo on Twitter just exploded when this when this
exactly.
excerpt came out and everyone was talking about how like Josh has like TNT energy and
Oh my gosh.
You're the type, like he could be someone you'd see in JSEC daw.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Asa ka daw and everything. People have put on these narratives to
Yeah.
him just because for his looks. And I think I would agree.
yeah.
And there were pictures floating around na batak pala siya. He's a gym bro. And everyone's like, yes. Pero regardless of that and the
Yeah.
Pinoy thing,
Yeah.
this is just so exciting.
It is. It's so
just a great
sweet.
show.
And that all three hosts are in one episode together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently the handy dandy notebook also doubles as a phone na.
Very 21st
yeah.
century.
In the front, it's a notebook. At the
Yeah.
back, it's a
Yeah.
phone. Well, obviously, Gen Z kids
Yeah.
would need like a phone on the narrative na
Yeah.
at this
Because
point.
I remember when Blue's Clues came out, it came out on my first day of either kinder prep or grade 1. As in,
Yeah.
I remember, like, I asked my mom, I don't want to go to school pa kasi there's this new show with a blue dog and
Yeah.
everything. So talagang, like, I remember, like, I was so pissed off. I want to watch this show. Tapos wala. So I missed out, like, the first. But I remember, like, whenever I could, I would watch it and then malilate pa ako for school. Kasi noontime siya noon.
Yeah. And I totally watched this new one just because I want to see it.
Same here.
Because of hashtag Pinoy Pride.
And it's really endearing, you know, like the way that he kind of carries the same tradition
Yeah.
of Steve and Joe and like for me, like Blue's Clues is a super sentimental show.
True.
Like when I was a kid, I actually had like a blue stuffed toy. That I would carry around with me everywhere. So it's like, and I think it was very good for kids, like comprehensive skills.
Yeah.
right? So I'm very excited.
Parang Dora lang, kinakausap yung screen randomly.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to our thoughts on the Dora movie, listen to our minisode. That's minisode number 9, Pop Bite number 9. So it's a yes, obviously. We're all super excited for Blue's Clues and You. And it comes out in November. Hashtag Pinoy Pride. So, ang daming other trailers na lumabas, but we won't be able to like talk about them one by one. So there's a new trailer for Catherine the Great. That's an HBO series starring Helen Mirren. It's about a Russian storyline compared to The Crown, I guess.
Yeah.
And then The King on Netflix, also starring Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet, I don't know.
Chalamet.
Sobrang daming pronunciations. I just call him Timmy kasi close kami. So, ayun. So many trailers. Most of them are a yes. So we're excited to see them. So our next movie news naman is there's gonna be a 4th movie for The Matrix.
Gosh,
They just announced that Keanu Reeves, at the height of his hashtag internet boyfriend, is coming back, as well as Carrie Ann Moss and the creator of the series, one of the creators, si Lana Wachowski. Her sister used to be one of the creators as well, but it's only gonna be her in this 4th movie. So it's a yes.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first Matrix. I haven't seen the sequels, but I mean, with the hype of Keanu and the technology we have.
And even I remember when Matrix came out, like the fact that it was 1998, and
99, I
of
think.
the future.
Yeah.
Parang the fact that people talk about things as red pill, blue pill. Parang grabe to have that.
The impact.
That impact, exactly. So it's interesting to see where it's gonna go.
And if the future looked like that in late 90s, early 2000s, what more can they show in the Matrix for? Because the technology now is crazy.
Like I'm sure like a lot of the themes in the Matrix are what inspired movies like say Inception, mga like those reimagining of
And like
Those
the
satire.
Black Mirror series as well.
That was really a big thing for its time.
Yeah, so nakawala na si John Wick sa kanyang mga tinatakasan. Bumalik na lang siya sa Matrix.
Yeah.
So, ayun, it's a yes.
Same. Yeah, that's
It's a yes for all of us. So last popcorn, before we head on to our favorite topic, mama-mention din siya dito. So, the MTV VMAs just came out last Monday, and here are the winners. Let's just talk about them a bit.
No, and it's always the most controversial award show.
Yeah, I
of the
think
year,
that's
right?
the
It has
point.
that history of people coming for each other hearts.
Yeah, so you had the Madonna and Britney kiss, Britney with the
true.
snake,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Kanye getting
the mic.
the Moon Man from Taylor, and the mic, and Beyonce like.
Miley and Nicki Minaj in recent
Oh my gosh, oo nga. So ang dami talaga. So this year, wala masyadong super controversial except for the fact that John Travolta mistook Jade Jolie from RuPaul's Drag Race as Taylor. I mean, si Jade kasi is a Taylor impersonator. So when Taylor won the award,
Like based on that blonde hair, parang okay, sige. Like, ang gulo na.
Yeah.
It's probably Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, not so far from the Adele Dazeem thing that happened a few years ago. But yun. So the performances this year included Miley, Taylor, Lizzo, who is a lot of people's favorite artist right now. Normani, who's one of the rising queens of pop, I can say.
Grabe, bigay
She's slaying, grabe.
Asap levels talaga. Asap
Talo pa niya yung mga ibang productions, grabe.
It was really good.
Yeah, and then Shawn Mendes and Camila, who's like on a PR, on a PR blitz right now.
That E-Online accidentally
Released
early.
I think it was EW.
EW,
Yeah.
They released early that their performance was
steamy, ganon.
ganun, pero wala pa. Like, they
my
released it the day before, so everyone was saying it was a plant, you know, this
But-
PR blitz.
But like, I think
They do pre, right?
everyone does pre. Parang para
Everyone does
ikaw
a
yung una
embargo. They call
makabreak,
it embargo
diba?
with
So as a journalist, Regine has something to say.
But it was so funny, everyone saying tuloy fake yung relationship. Ay, ano, sige.
But that's why it's important to know your media. Na it's not because may outline na doesn't mean it's just like a plan. Yeah, you have to know how these things really take time. You can't just break a story.
Yeah.
Like, you can't type like 500 words in 1 minute so you can be the first to break it, something like that. So well, regardless.
Yun pa talaga yung nag-leak out of all the performances.
Oo nga eh.
Nag-leak.
Pero announced naman yung performance nila, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's not really part of it. So, let's not comment on the whole Shawn Mendes Camila because that's another that's a whole nother mini-sode.
Yeah.
So, yun, the winners from this year include the Video Vanguard Award, Missy Elliott, and then Alison Stoner appeared, who appeared from as a child in her old videos. Sobrang cool nun.
Wow,
Yeah.
she's wow.
And we know Alison from Camp Rock also and Step
her
Up,
Disney history.
the Disney days.
And for Missy Elliott to bring that level of performance, I think she deserves the award clearly. Like,
Yeah, she worked it.
I mean, you see her shaping R&B sound until now.
And one of the first female rappers, you can say, in this,
Yeah.
who influenced probably mga current
all the female rappers that we
Lizzo,
have now, yeah.
Cardi B,
Noelle,
Nicki
yeah.
Minaj.
Yeah.
I mean, ang daming
They run because Missy Elliott
walk
Walk.
for them. So yun. Of course, our fave Taylor won 3 awards. Video of the Year for You Need to Calm Down and Video for Good for that video as well. And Best Visual Effects for Me. Ariana Grande as Artist of the Year. Lil Nas X for Song of the Year for Old Town Road. Syempre, it's one of the hits of the year.
Yeah.
Featuring Billy Ray.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish as the Best New Artist. And Best Collab, Sean and Camilla. #PR. Yun.
Can I just say, I was so disappointed. Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper did not win Best Collab. Like, how can they not for Shallow? Like, I don't know. I'm just a shallow.
Because PR.
this year.
Yeah.
Kasi tapos na yung PR blitz ng A Star Is Born.
Oo, grabe.
The 99 people in the room have spoken. And they wanted
Yeah, and they want
Senorita to win. I mean, another bop
it's
for sure.
great.
And
It's great.
the chemistry between them, you can't deny it,
Yeah.
regardless
The
of
music
whatever
video,
rumors
Galing,
is out
galing.
are out there.
Exactly.
So yun, those are our pop kerns for the week. A lot of exciting interesting week, but interestingly enough, walang mga Pinoy news this week na
Yeah.
pasabog. So something's probably brewing that will
Next
Come
week
up soon.
so next week abangan natin kung ano pa yung lalabas sa Pinoy pop culture dahil this week tahimik tayo. Pero malapit na yung pisa ng pelikulang Pilipino.
Yeah.
The 3rd edition comes out September 13 to 19. So that's something exciting to look forward to. And there's a new I Want movie. It's called Abandoned
By Kip
Obenda. Yeah, and starring Beauty Gonzalez from Kadenang Ginto. Siyempre yun talaga yung point of reference. So those are our pop kerns for the week. And we will be back after this break. We are back here on Popcorn for our Taylor Swift Lover Special.
Inaabangan yung lahat.
Inaabangan ng lahat. And nandito lahat ng apologists assemble. So, the reason I got Nat and Reg was because I see all of their tweets about Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift ride or die,
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's either you love her
for not liking her on one song, and I mean, come on, sabi ko, it doesn't change that I'm a Swiftie for life.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, before we talk about the current album, of course, let's look back and discuss what we love about Taylor so much in the first place. Why we're here, why we're all wearing pink and having number 13s.
Awakening, like what?
Oh, that's a very good question.
What was
Okay, let me
Ako kasi, I was in grade 7. I was still in my HSM phase.
Yeah.
Like puro Disney lang pinapakinggan ko.
Yeah.
So the only thing I knew was like 7 things outside of Disney soundtracks. And then during one cast party for ACT, that's Ateneo Children's Theater, they were playing this song called Love Story. And they were like, oh, this is by Taylor Swift. All that. And I was like, okay, I'm in. And that was really the first time I ever heard that song. I can remember it distinctly. Dun pa siya sa auditorium ng AGS Pline. So that's my Taylor awakening. But parang the peak of my Taylor Swift fanboying, I guess, it's the 1989 saga era.
Okay.
Kayo?
Definitely.
Yeah, for you.
I've been a fan since Taylor Swift, the first album.
Oh.
Okay.
Like in 6th grade, like I'd listen to like the whole like teardrops and guitar and all that.
But she had those curls pa talaga.
Yes,
The natural curls.
But I remember parang one of the one of the moments when I really felt like Taylor had seen me and like
Yeah.
couldn't capture like the whole young high school crush.
Yeah.
That whole trope. Was I remember like when I had a crush in high school. And like
Laglagan na. Name mo nga kung break.
Actually, when I met the guy who would become my first boyfriend,
Oh,
I would listen to Enchanted by Taylor
yeah.
on
Oh
it's
my
from Speak
God.
Now,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like
think
I would
so.
listen to it on repeat. Like after that, I was just so like
Yeah.
charmed by how she could capture like that whole like schoolgirl crush feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah, my favorite era was Red.
Okay,
What was
similar for me. So, although throughout grade school, high school, I knew the songs, I knew Love Story, You Belong With Me, White Horse, but she wasn't my favorite artist. I think it changed actually more when I was in college. Like, I remember that was when Red came out, and then parang siguro for the first time nakarelate rin ako. Like, but yung I remember the song I related to the most, We Are Never Getting Back Together. So,
Hala, baliktad kayo. Siya yung crush niya.
Sa akin yung parang, okay, tama na, diba?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had that whole phase that it was even my ringtone na parang, okay,
Yeah.
grabe, as in,
Actually, that was a really strong opening single.
Yeah. it
I
was.
mean,
was so
I
much-
did love her already since Fearless, and I listened back to Taylor Swift.
Opening single nga siya.
But yun nga, when she kind of switched to pop, I loved her even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And for me, I think what sold me as a lifelong fan was seeing her perform for the Red Tour. Like, to see that she's such a strong performer, the way
She
she
is,
gives her
yeah.
spiel to the audience, yung mga, she's a bit weird as a white dancer, to be honest.
She is.
Her limbs,
Yes,
her
yeah,
limbs
it
are
is.
all over the place.
But then again, she's improved.
exactly,
I must defend her.
That's a lot.
If you watch the Reputation
Yeah.
Netflix
Yeah.
special,
Yeah.
wow, if you compare that Speak
Yeah.
Now Red era na
Yeah.
medyo awkward dancer si Ate Girl,
Yeah.
ngayon ginalingan na niya.
Yeah.
Totoo. I think her ano sa dancing. Because I mean, it is awkward to watch. But at the same time, it's like when you watch your big sister at a slumber party.
Yeah.
When, you know, like, pag nagwawala lang sila.
Yeah.
Medyo ganon. So, medyo
Okay,
mapaforgive ka
gets-
siya.
Exactly. And I mean, compare maybe to another artist I saw weird dancing live was Lord. Like, sa kanya talaga yung, di ba?
Oh, pero
Like,
si Lord, that's very characteristic of her naman
that
eh.
naman is like, okay, these are really weird dancing, but these are like really cool.
Yeah.
Ganon, oo.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, to everyone listening and watching, you now have entered the Swift zone. Ito na, hindi na ito matatapos.
Yeah, eh.
We don't know how long
Yeah.
this is gonna
You're here
last.
for several
But you're
hours,
here for
so-
a long and good while.
Yeah.
You're here for the rest
But
of your
first,
life.
I think before we dive into that, why should there even be a concept of apologists in the first place? I mean, I don't think there's anything to apologize for loving an artist. Diba?
Ako, I would say I've had somewhat of a love-hate.
I mean, in terms of Taylor Swift not being other apologists.
Yeah, yeah. That's so true. That's so true. Good disclaimer.
I love her 90% of the time, and there's this 10% that she gets on my nerves. Like, I don't know, like, I know na she's been criticized super unfairly. I really
Yeah.
stand up for her in that
Yes,
way. But there's
I agree.
something I cannot put my finger on what annoys me with her. There are certain things that she says to the media or certain, like, responses she has na parang, yun nga, I don't know if I'm buying too much into the image that she's calculated, or what do you guys think about, like, the whole she plans out everything kind of thing?
Well, actually, for me, it's a really good strategy.
Yeah.
As a person working in the
She's
music business,
strategic.
wow.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
no, parang we're trying to work towards the same goals as the Taylor Swift level of being an artist.
Yeah.
And she's really one of the artists that I look up to in terms of music marketing, like how she's doing it.
The
And
campaigns are just, wow.
call her calculated, call her strategic. I mean, she's getting
She
all
gets
the
the job
streams,
done.
she
Yeah,
gets
and
all
she
the
gets-
merch.
That's true.
We're all here talking about her.
Yeah.
It means
Yeah.
it's effective.
I
And
mean, her hold on the cultural zeitgeist is just,
I know.
Yeah,
This-
yeah.
this-
She really knows.
my
She has
gosh.
a great business sense.
Yeah.
Like she
The
just
acumen
knows
is there.
how to. Yeah,
My gosh.
definitely.
Grabe.
I definitely think that because there are instances where I feel like oh, maybe she could have done this better, because
Exactly,
she could have phrased
exactly.
these things better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I tend to forgive her, because I feel like if she were a guy, she wouldn't be castigated.
Okay.
for,
That's true.
like,
And
the
because
same
she's
things.
especially under scrutiny.
Exactly,
Like, for
yeah.
her, parang,
For every single
Every
move,
single thing.
kahit anong
Yeah.
galaw na gawin
Yeah.
niya, pupunahin lang siya ng kahit sino dyan. Especially the bandwagon Taylor Swift haters. I mean,
which they called me for. So there was one time I was saying that I just don't like You Need to Calm Down, and people were saying, grabe ka, ano kong classical fan. I don't like the song, that's it. Grabe.
yeah, but during that time when everyone was scrutinizing her, I mean, when 1989 came out, everyone like, oh my gosh, I love Taylor Swift, blah blah blah. And
so
then
true. And then
a few after that era, or as it was ending,
Everyone dogpiled
parang,
her.
it's the same way they hated on Frozen all of a sudden. And then for some time, people were also hating on Black Panther na rin. So parang, why are people such bandwagon haters?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
obviously
true.
we've
That's so
stuck
true.
through with her until
Yes, we have.
the Lover era.
I was in college. I remember I would take time to write a long Facebook status on my review of her music videos of 1989. Grabe, parang siguro kung ganun, ang dami kong paper na natapos mas maaga.
Yeah, alam mo ba, I was actually invited to talk about Taylor Swift in a thesis. I mean, sila,
okay.
you know sila Maia and Manny
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Carms. They had a thesis about celebrity and image.
Yeah.
And then I was part of it. And I was just like talking about Taylor Swift like this to them.
Yeah.
And how, even though everyone thinks she's calculated,
Yeah.
that she's, you know, I admire her for everything.
Definitely.
And I mean, not completely 100% everything as Nat was saying, but a lot.
Yeah.
This is
A
a
lot,
lot more than
yeah.
every other celebrity we've seen in the past decade or the past 2
Yeah.
decades.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about some aspects of Taylor's
Definitely.
life. So first, syempre, number one, as a musician, I mean, I guess why a lot of people like her is how relatable her music is. Na it's so universal. It's so specific to her.
Yeah.
But when you listen to it as a random person on the other side of the world, you still get to relate to it. I mean, on one end, I mean, kayo may romantic experiences kayo. Ako wala talaga. Pero, you know, those songs like Mean or the songs like Look What You Made Me Do even.
Yeah.
Parang those songs are so specific to her narrative,
Yes.
which she didn't want to be included in
Yeah.
the narrative. And it's so universal and still so relatable kahit wala kang jowa, kahit I mean she's gone her whole life is
Her
in your
songs make you pretend may jowa ka.
Yes.
Parang ganon.
Yeah.
Grabe.
Or
They make
makes
you hope
or
for
makes you say
yeah.
sana all, di ba? Parang
Yeah.
ganon, yeah.
And I think there's also a lot of hope in the songs, especially songs na Shake It Off. I mean, not
Yeah.
necessarily hope in a pure sense, but
Yeah.
like hope na you can just shrug everything off and that
that's true.
you can do whatever you want and follow your dreams and all that and just shake it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you calm down the haters
Yeah.
and all that.
Her
Definitely.
particular brand of songwriting is just pure honesty. I think
Yeah.
the fact that kunyari with this marketing campaign for Lover, she released actual pages of her diary from 13 years
And I
old.
bought all of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hindi pa sila dumating pero hinihintay ko lang.
the fact that, you know, for someone to have that honesty and vulnerability with her audience, with her market, parang it feels special.
Yeah.
We don't see that very often with
Definitely.
artists.
I think that's the reason why I personally love Taylor so much. Like I feel like she's the kind of person who shows that vulnerability can be a strength.
Yes.
You know, like it makes you feel like it's okay when you have bad days, when you
Yeah.
feel heartbroken. Like you're not alone, you know.
That you can make a
you're
lot of
seen.
money out of
Yeah.
I wish I had the same lyrical genius to write the same songs as Taylor. And yun nga, so we were talking about our favorite eras. This is the 7th era na, the Lover era, but we've had 6 previously. Of course, we had Taylor Swift, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, and Reputation. So, sinabi nyo na, your favorite is Red.
Red.
Oh, I think I would have to say Red because of that concert also. Like, it sold me so much for like, and all the songs now have like a particular memory sort of attached. I'm wondering if, say, Fearless or Speak Now, if they were released today, would it be that much of a hit? I'm super curious. Like, was it too advanced for its time? Like, parang, I think there's something special also with these albums na sayang mas pwede pang bigyan ng attention if it were
I feel like it was a necessary first step in her
Exactly.
career,
Yeah.
regardless.
That's true. Yeah.
And, the very fact that those propelled her into the limelight.
Yeah.
And then 1989, which is my favorite again,
Yeah.
Yes.
really put her
Yeah.
in the world
Cemented that-
fishbowl.
Yeah.
What she says she feels like she lives in a fishbowl because everyone's just watching her every move.
Yeah.
But 1989 was that era, and for me, that was the very moment talaga na I really admired her and really felt for her.
Yeah.
And the sheer fun she was having and the 80s nostalgia,
Yes.
so much pop goodness in that album 1989. And simula pa lang Shake It Off, even though people were like, ano yan?
What was that?
Ano yang kantang yan?
But it's so catchy though.
No, everyone. I remember the criticism at the time was that her lyrics were stupid.
Yeah.
Shake, 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 like
Yeah,
paulit-ulit
yeah.
lang daw. How
Saka yung my ex-man but it's yung girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was
oh my
wondering, how
God.
did she go from this poetic whatever to
Yeah.
this stupid, catchy, marketable song? But I mean,
Yeah.
every now and then you're allowed to, I guess, have fun with that image nga of what people have of you.
And, it's still a bop until
It
now.
was. Yeah.
So, any other
Tracks
favorite
then.
songs?
No, but what about like tracks for me? Oh my gosh, like I think Blank Space is just up there in my top. Like the video, the lyrics, it was just, and that chorus. From the earlier, more country days, obviously All Too Well. Like
Yeah.
who can argue
Obviously,
with
all too well.
The seminal
Yeah.
Taylor Swift song.
Yes. Yes.
All Too
bring
Well.
out her
Definitely.
piano and let her
Yeah.
cry to that grabe. No, like grabe. I think contribution ni Jake Gyllenhaal to pop culture. Imagine.
He contributed.
Oh my
This is his lifetime achievement. That because of him we have this amazing song.
And what's amazing about it is that no words repeat except All Too Well and, the chorus.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the whole 10-minute.
The 13, di ba 13 minute pa siya or 10?
I think.
Yeah.
And in the deluxe editions of Lover, there are pages where they show the original lyrics.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
go and buy that if you want to see
so
that.
interesting, like in a I think it was in a interview or something. Si Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake's
Yeah.
sister, she is always asked about the scarf.
scarf, yeah.
So she's like,
Did
I
she
don't know
actually
what,
keep it?
She said, I don't know what this damn scarf people are talking about. That she keeps getting
Yeah.
asked. So parang grabe yun.
The impact of
The
that
impact,
scarf
the
in her drawer.
The impact, grabe. Oo.
Ako, favorite songs ko, I mean, on the top of my head, Out of the Woods is so good for me.
It is. The piano version that she played at the Grammy Museum.
Yeah.
Was
Oh my
really good.
gosh.
Yeah, it was
And
so
that even that original version
Yes,
and
yeah.
what it meant and that whole journey it took you.
Yeah.
Grabe. And then for me, Call It What You Want from Reputation is also really good. I think
Yeah.
she was super vulnerable in this
Yeah.
and parang she's like, whatever you call me, whatever my reputation is, call it what you want, call us what you
Yeah.
want. I'm here. I have a Joa. Joe Alwyn is by my side.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just fine.
Joa Alwyn. Yeah.
Tapos ako gusto ko rin yung Crazier from Hannah Montana the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was really
Wow,
that's a
early
early Taylor Swift. I was so excited when she came out.
Yeah.
And I love Hannah Montana also. And
Yeah.
dinagdag mo pa si Taylor Swift. Like,
Yeah.
wow, the impact of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, my favorites definitely include, apart from All Too Well, Holy Ground. And I super
That was a
love
strong
it was a
opening.
strong. And I really love how both Holy Ground and
I get
Saving
good.
Grace-
I'm getting goosebumps
Yeah.
just remembering the opening drum beat. Oh my god.
And I love how Rolling Stone had this comparison of like Holy Ground versus Cornelia Street. So we
Yeah.
can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But another favorite of mine is also New Year's Day.
Oh my gosh, it's also
Soft
so good.
Swift is my
Yeah.
favorite Swift.
Yeah.
Well, basically, we love everything she puts out. So, what's this discussion? So, more on Taylor. Of course, she's a really big, one of the iconic personalities in this generation.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. Her life, parang it's in a fishbowl. We're talking about her now because of how we see her in this fishbowl. We don't necessarily know if Taylor herself is how she presents herself to be in the
Yeah.
public or what. But, if palagi siyang laman ng headlines, what all the boyfriends of Taylor Swift's past, we don't want to talk about that in this episode because because
Of course.
it's done. It's all done.
Yeah.
You've heard it in the songs. You've
Yeah.
read.
Even the guys themselves are so tired of getting
Yeah.
action. So yun.
Pero in fairness kay Taylor, she was like, when in an Ellen interview, she was like, what's the one thing you regret ever doing?
Yeah.
And she was like calling out JoJo on this
I
show.
remember that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And that's great that they can laugh about it.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Joe's married
Yeah.
and Taylor's in a really loving relationship, I could say, or we'd like to
That's so
believe,
true, yeah.
based on this
and
album.
she's a big Game of Thrones fan, so she loves Sophie Turner.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The reactions during the Grammys talaga, you know, that
Yeah.
interaction.
Yeah, and then syempre, all the bad blood. I mean, what's
Yeah.
not to talk about with the bad blood? Syempre, there's Kanye West and Kim Kardashian in the hashtag Taylor Swift is over party or
Yeah.
whatever they'd like to believe.
Grabe talagang dinefend ko siya that day.
Same.
Yes,
Doon lumabas
yes, same
yung...
here.
I was already working. Parang
Yeah.
akala tanda-tanda ako na
Yeah.
parang, sino ba yan? Like, these are like high school
Yeah.
things. Pero parang I was like
That's so
tweeting,
true.
you know, this is so unfair.
Yeah.
Grabe.
And you know, I still feel so strongly about it until now. Pero
That was so unfair.
it was
Yes,
really.
it
Like, I
was.
feel like even though, you know, assuming but not conceding that she actually quote unquote approved that lyric, like
Yeah.
it was just so sexist for him to depict her naked like that. Like
Yeah.
that
And that's why she's mad at Scooter Braun, who's
Yeah.
one of the recent bad bloods
Yeah.
she's had. And even in one of her latest interviews with CBS,
Yeah.
Yeah.
parang the interviewer asked her, "So what about Scooter Braun?" And she was like, "Bleh."
Yeah.
"That's a really
Yeah.
fun reaction." But also like,
But it's getting like she's like people are criticizing her for that reaction and like why she's allowed to react that
Yeah.
way.
wouldn't you react the same way to
Exactly.
someone you
Yeah.
dislike?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine Regine
Ah.
and another person, but that's not for this episode.
For sure. Yeah.
And syempre, the infamous Katy Perry feud
yeah.
then.
Yeah. Which
And
happily is settled now.
with burgers and fries. That's so happy. And, you know, I think there was a Nicki Minaj
That
feud
the
then.
tweet and then
Oh,
pero
yeah.
bumawi siya agad. Ang bilis ng PR niya.
Yeah.
May performance na sila together in...
Like, right after, I remember she tweeted something like, I'm sorry I misspoke. And sabi ko, shucks, ang galing ng team niya. Or I mean, even if it came from her regardless.
Yeah.
But she's so conscious of what these things can do
Yeah.
with any misstep. Nalilinis agad. Parang-
And they had a performance together pa.
Yeah.
Was that the VMAs
Oo.
also?
I think so, yeah.
Probably.
Oh
And-
my God.
I think that was the first instance of, and this will relate to the whole privilege thing, because she talked about her white privilege na
Recently,
in her interviews with Vogue and The
Yeah.
Guardian. So I think that instance was like one of her first parang
Eye-opening for
educational
her.
experiences.
Eye-opening.
Yeah.
Ano,
to get
oo.
called out like that on something
Yeah.
na parang nakigulo siya eh. Parang
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
shouldn't
oo.
have spoke. Yeah.
And arguably, yun nga, I think
Yeah.
there's this whole discussion like some people dislike her because she feels like a privileged person, and she does. I mean, admit it. Na she's a white woman,
Yes,
and she has all the power in the world. You could say that she could probably run for president, and
Yeah.
people would vote for her, or something like that. But you know, what do you think about that whole storyline of her being privileged and problematic?
I think now she's kind of made steps to use her privilege for good things. I mean, we've seen how
It's more concrete now.
it's more concrete,
More
now.
concrete now.
But I can understand why in 2016 she was hesitant to step forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw her quote for in her interview with Vogue when she said that she didn't want to endorse Hillary
Yeah,
be a liability. to
and be
the
a
campaign.
liability because people would say basically nasty sexist things about the two of them together.
yeah,
And you know, when I look back on it in retrospect, I don't think that, I mean, like, celebrities are human beings too, right? I mean, like, it's understandable if you'd want to take care of your own mental health also at
Yeah.
that point in time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yun, I'd also like to talk about Taylor as a Sagittarius. I mean, there's a lot of, there's a whole petty vibe with Taylor. Would you call her petty?
She always has to have, like, that one petty song in every
Yeah, and
So
know,
the last say on things.
I think
Yeah,
it's a really Sagittarius energy because
Yeah.
I'm a Sagittarius myself, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's why the connection with Taylor is so real because she's only like 12 days, yung birthday namin 12 days
Yeah.
apart.
Pakita
So we're
na yung
bo-
13 sa kamay
Yeah,
mo.
may 13 din sa kamay ko ngayon. Pero I think that Sagittarius, I mean, if you believe believe in astrology, I think that puts. I mean, I think I'd have the same
Oh my God.
tendencies, and that's why Look What You Made Me Do is a jam. If there's something I'm doing, there's something petty I'm doing
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
what another person
Yeah.
did to me or said to me.
Yeah.
I think it's more than that, more than like. I mean, I guess we're all also petty in our
We all
own
have our
ways.
petty instances.
She's very
I
human.
think.
That's and
Yeah,
she's
so-
not ashamed of it,
Yeah.
which is why her music sells.
But she goes all the way and she means
goes
it
all
with
the
her
way.
pettiness.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, give me a P. Give me an E. Pero ayun, yun nga, as Regine was saying,
Yeah.
there's mean, there's better than revenge, which is problematic,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
say. There's Bad Blood, of course, the seminal petty song.
Yes,
and
of course.
you'd call Bad Blood, parang I think it made its cultural stamp by referring to feuds as people having bad blood
Yeah.
because of the song Bad
Yeah.
Blood also. And, you know, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Look What You Made Me Do. In each album, tinanong nga din siya about it na parang,
Yeah.
why in each album you have this song about the haters, and she was like, if the haters stop coming at me, I'll stop writing these songs.
The cycle
Yeah,
repeats
yeah.
itself.
Yeah, but I think she's also really self-aware, and that's what I admire about it. Like, some artists are not really aware of what they're saying and what they're doing, but
That's true.
she herself.
Music video of Look What You Made Me Do, she parodies herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Blank Space as a
Blank
song.
Space,
Exactly.
So that's one of the things I really admire about her, is that she's self-aware and she tries to do something about it,
Definitely.
which I aspire to be. I mean, I guess I'm pretty self-aware myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, but yun nga, that Taylor Swift energy is just
Yeah.
really living
Yeah.
in me.
No, I really relate sometimes. Siyempre feeling kunyari na ano, no. But sometimes I feel like when a lot of people have comments on my life, parang,
Yeah.
or the way I conduct myself, or what I talk about, what I
Yeah.
find important. And I remember it's been for years that I always sort of look to Taylor Swift as someone who succeeds in spite of what people think of
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
Parang yun yung, for me kasi parang
Yeah.
minsan may mga tao hindi ko kilala or whatever, tapos may say about what I do, or parang okay, I get that. Maybe I conduct myself too publicly at
Yeah.
times, but at the end of the day, you know, this is my life, my choices, like with the people I
And you
deal with.
you
Yeah.
face your own consequences
Yeah,
naman.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's not necessarily na sila yung affected
Yeah.
or in some sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that, I get that energy of Taylor talaga.
So ano bang pag-uusapan natin about her? I mean, aside from the petty stuff, and you know, everyone knows about that.
Yeah.
We're not really gonna talk about that anymore in
Yeah.
this episode because
It's a
we're
new chapter
it's a new
for her.
chapter in her life, and yun nga, syempre, part of her personality and why people love her is how close she tries to get with her fans, with
course.
the secret sessions in her house,
Yeah.
the Tumblr
Special
likes,
gifts,
the
everything.
gifts,
Yeah.
everything. I just wish we were invited there. Sana this
Oh, she should
podcast
have an
propels
Asian,
us
huh?
to that.
I have this one theory about her Easter eggs. Honestly, minsan, like, she'll always like, oh, someone finally got it, ganon. Feel ko minsan hindi nga yun egg, tapos may magtao.
Ginawan lang niya ng-
Tapos sabihin niya, yeah, you got it. Feel ko talaga, I'm starting
There
to
was
get,
a Tumblr
kasi ang
likes
galing
niya.
naman na lahat Easter egg, di ba? Parang feel ko
Yeah.
minsan maybe were more accidental, I would say, but
Yeah.
she'd say, oh, tama yan. Okay yung interpretation mo
Yeah.
yan.
But this whole Easter egg thing only came about more recently
More recent,
in
yeah.
Lover era eh.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean-
Although there were Easter eggs in
In the old
Look What You
albums,
Made Me Do
oo.
video, for example.
Pero yung ano talaga, yung totoong
Ay, totoo. Yung
sinasabi na niya
clues
out
and
there na
Yeah.
I have Easter eggs, go
Yeah.
look for them.
Yeah.
Unlike before na it's just really
Yeah.
legit Easter eggs that aren't
Yeah.
really
Talked
publicly
about
talked about. And
Yeah.
even with her inlays, yung mga lyrics na
Yeah.
capital letters, and
yeah,
Yeah.
grabe yun.
they'd become one whole sentence in each album.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories, like, I keep telling myself, you know, not to get sucked into them. But before this album was released, I was reading
Siyempre,
everything about, like, I was scrolling through Instagram about the
Same.
post. Grabe.
Even with the latest album, sinabi na niya na, oh, the name of the album is in the song
And the song,
Me,
syempre,
diba?
lahat
So,
na
anong
hanap
song?
na. Yeah.
I mean, it's in the chorus.
Yeah.
Syempre, Taylor Swift, aside from the music, jumping to another aspect
Yeah.
of her life, she's also an actress and appeared,
Oh.
yun nga, in Hannah Montana for that brief song and
Yeah.
really good song.
Yeah.
And she was also a voice in The Lorax with Zac Efron, that iconic Ellen interview with
Yeah.
all the other kids,
Yeah.
diba? And Valentine's Day, pinanood ko rin yun. The Taylor x Taylor.
Yeah, the
Taylor Squared.
Oh my God, that's so long ago.
That was
Wow.
that this is so dated. Like that period
Yeah.
of film. And oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that Back to December is one of my favorite songs. Every time, birthday ko kasi December 1.
Yeah.
So, I'd play Back to December. And yun nga, kasi that was a Taylor squared era.
Yeah.
And
It
that was...
Yeah.
That's what people are saying na the song is about Taylor Lautner, yung Back to December. And syempre, she was also in The Giver for a while in some scenes.
She was?
I haven't seen it yet, so
Yeah, so siya yung I forget her name there, but she was also there. And then of course she's coming out in Cats, the movie, the musical everyone's talking about.
I don't know what I really don't know.
I'm looking forward to it.
This is just weird. What is this? Like I saw it.
Yeah.
I have no comment.
Like it's based because the musical is based on the T.S.
Yeah.
Book of poems, right? So it's like T.S. and then like another T.S. So I'm like,
And she gets to live her cat fantasy.
Yeah, she does.
Yun na yun eh. That's I think that's the one of the reasons she was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna be a cat. Let's do it. And interviews are saying na she enjoyed the cat school too much.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would, if I loved cats, then I probably would too.
Yeah.
And lastly, I guess let's just talk about the impact of Taylor Swift as a business mogul, as a music icon. Syempre, I think at this point, how many years into her career? It's been 10 plus years.
Yeah.
She just really knows the industry so well and knows how to strategically
to start from where she started.
Yeah.
Very niche country setting.
Yeah.
I mean, the very fact that she moved to Nashville to pursue that is very telling of how she wants to pursue and how she just wants to live her dream.
I saw these old videos of her at doing mall shows no walang tao, like she has a banner Taylor Swift tapos nobody in the crowd and like these are the humble beginnings where you see the talent but it's not shined or anything. Tapos here you have this pop star. It's all around pop star. Like grabe, I think there should be for sure a biopic on her. Imagine mo in the future.
Definitely.
But who would play her?
Uy,
That's the question.
That's a good... Pero feel ko, I think the fact that her life and how the media...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a trilogy na at this point. You have the country era and then the transition to pop.
For sure.
And then the...
I would love to watch a biopic talaga.
I wouldn't mind watching that either. So
Even
Netflix, make it happen.
That follows her, I would definitely.
Yeah.
So I think aside from the musical impact kasi, her impact as a personality in the music industry in itself na parang she knows what she wants and she gets it and not just for herself but for everyone.
For
I think
artist rights.
Yeah, kasi
because she has the power and the privilege, she makes that stand that other smaller artists could not make. And I think that's important for someone like her to support that. Like when the whole Spotify, Apple Music kind of issue came out. I think it was very... What I like about her is she knows what she wants to achieve. She has a vision for what the music industry will be like in the future. And I think that's what makes her a visionary.
Yeah, and yun nga, parang, for example, the Spotify nga, the money you get from Spotify isn't so much naman talaga. And even if she's Taylor Swift and gets 1 billion streams, for example, she still won't earn the same as earning it on CD. Pero yun nga, at that time, it's the changing times. People are just like, okay, I'll put my songs on Spotify. But pinanindigan talaga niya na, I'm just gonna remove all my music because it's not fair for everyone. And even until now, the Scooter Braun issue, yung masters, and how, yun nga parang, kasi in the music industry, not everyone knows how to handle contracts for your masters, what you own.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's really upset about this and
she's speaking up so that other artists can be aware of this kind of
like the way she said it na she made these decisions at an age where she did not understand the industry and this decision haunts her career. So parang for her to at least make these reparations now, I'm really curious how she's gonna navigate it as an artist, as a musician, as a businesswoman. Like that's just, it's all around.
She's everything.
Yeah.
And I guess that's pretty much all aspects of her life. Of what have we not touched on? Private life na lang yung hindi natin alam. So, ayun, those are our thoughts on Taylor in general. After this break, we'll be talking about the album of the year. or so
Yes.
we'd like to think, lovers. So we'll be on a short break. WWE Live returns to Manila this September 20, Friday at the Araneta Coliseum. Tickets are now on sale at ticketnet.com.ph or call 911-5555. Catch your favorite WWE superstars including Roman Reigns, Kofi Kingston, Finn Balor, Charlotte Flair, Xavier Woods, Big E, Asuka, Elias, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, Bailey, Carmella, The Iconics, and many more. Hashtag WWE Manila 2019 presented by WWE and Wilbros Live. And we are back here on Popcorn, your stop for all things pop. Of course, we are here for our Taylor Swift special with our hashtag Taylor Swift apologists assemble.
Taylor Swift scholars.
Yeah, scholars of Swift.
Yes.
Siyempre si Nat, I think, has a minor or major in
Okay,
music.
so,
Ganun.
disclaimer, kung ano mo sabi ko, finally magagamit ko yung degree ko in minor in music literature.
Wow.
In
O, diba? Hindi lang tayo dumadakdak dito. May theory tayo.
15 units ako ng ganito, no? Para to talk about Swift.
Yeah.
And of course, Reg
Yes, I have
has
a
extensive
PhD.
knowledge. We have PhDs in
dissertation
Studies.
level.
in Taylor Swift, in Swiftian ideologies. So ito na, the much talked about album for the last week. It's all I've been listening to.
Same.
This is
Yes.
the Lover album by Taylor Swift. It's her 7th studio album and the first to be owned by her.
Yeah.
So it
Good
was
for her.
released last Friday, and yeah. So we're gonna talk about the whole album track by
One
track,
by one.
one by one.
Talagang himayin natin to.
This is really is it. So let's open with the foreword in the album.
Okay.
She was just saying how she'd like to express the different types of love she's experienced in the last 3 years. Kasi diba, Reputation was more of a dark era in her life. And this was more like how she would respond in different ways in different types of love. And yun nga, in the last part, she says, you are what you love. Love. Love Taylor. Yun. So, of course, let's talk about the accolades Lover has already gotten
Yeah.
just in its first week or even in the first 24 hours. So already it's the highest selling album of 2019 in the US. It broke the Target
Yeah.
pre-order record previously held by herself
Yeah.
for Reputation.
Eating herself.
Yeah.
Like,
And one of the achievements also is that Taylor got her 44th top 20 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, and she ties with Madonna as the 4th artist with the most top 20 hits of all time. I'm sure with more albums to come,
Yeah.
At
she'll
this
have
age,
yeah.
at that production
Yeah.
level, grabe.
Hopefully,
It's a machine. Yeah.
it just continues on and on. But
Yeah.
going to the album itself, ito na. So, what were your expectations before it came out?
Ooh, expectations. Honestly, for me, I just wanted a new album. So
Yeah,
I
same
was
here.
willing, honestly, with Reputation, I was a bit disappointed. So I was like, okay, I'm not expecting much, whatever it sounds like. I have no clue, but I will love it probably. Yeah, yun yung feeling
Yeah.
ko. Parang, okay lang, I just want new music after
Yeah.
2 years? 3?
Yeah.
3, right? It was
2 years. 2017
Okay,
Reputation.
So it's been 2 years. Just like you just want new music. So that was my frame of mind coming into this album.
I felt like she delivered on the expectations that I had because I was expecting her to kind of go back to the
Same.
the old Taylor,
To the cutesy
to the
cutesy.
cutesy Taylor. This is how I think the Rolling Stone review put it. The 0 to 60 heart Taylor.
Yeah.
Like parang when you love someone, parang go hard or go home. Parang
Yeah.
ganon. Unlike in Reputation where she had that whole persona. Diba?
Yeah.
And I think she delivered in that sense.
Ako naman, I disagree with you about
Yeah.
Reputation. I really
Okay, yeah.
really like that as a whole album, especially as a response to everything that was
Yeah,
thrown at
yeah,
her.
yeah.
I think it was really she had a lot of good songs from that album, and for me that was why I was like really scared about
Yeah.
what Lover was gonna be. Kasi
Yeah.
Reputation for me was also a good album. I mean, a lot of people were like, "What is this? Is this
Yeah.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Who is she?" Mga ganon.
Yeah.
And I guess she really meant to do that whole Reputation album. And for me, that may mga songs doon na isa-skip ko rin naman, but generally Reputation was a good era for me, and there's a lot of bops and really good lyrics
The
also
way I view it, she had to go through that era
to get to this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
parang for
I
me,
agree.
I felt like on a musical, like I felt that it was a bit too overdone sometimes in certain songs.
The production.
Yeah, I mean, there were things that was heavy-handed, lyricism and everything. She was like, may galit, and it's gigil sa kanta rather than something flowing naturally na. Okay, I mean, you're right. Like there are actually like good pieces on Reputation, but as a whole, I was like, I can live
Yeah.
with this era. Yeah.
Pero ako yun nga, parang after that, for me, it was a good album. So I was like, what's she gonna do next? Because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
had 1989, which was really fun and light
Yeah.
and bubbly and smart and everything. And Reputation was another era on its own, and it was also good on its own, parang on its own accord.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm sure she's gonna come, as Reg was saying, I'm sure she's gonna come back to this slight sweetheart Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But how is she gonna change it up?
Exactly.
Kasi parang we've already had 1989, which was
Yeah.
God tier Taylor Swift album.
Yeah.
So parang what's
Yeah.
next? But yun nga, especially when Me came out and when You Need to Calm Down came out, I was like, what is this? What is this bubblegum
Yeah,
Taylor
yeah.
Swift? Parang okay.
It's just inane for me.
I was like, am I outgrowing her as an artist or what? But when this album came out, I was like,
Yeah.
all my doubts have
Yeah.
been flushed away.
Yeah.
And
Parang sometimes inisip ko marketing campaign ba to lead with your solos when everyone is so hungry for any single
Yeah,
o
yeah.
dinabenta mo yung worst mo of the
Yeah.
bunch.
Yeah. Actually-
Inisip ko
Yeah, that's true.
that I think that's sadya kay Taylor. Na
Yeah.
ever since Red, if you can notice that pattern,
Yeah.
We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together.
Yeah, that's
Then Shake It Off was next
Yeah.
in 1989. And Reputation, it was Look What You Made Me Do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a
Parang yung mga like songs.
questionable
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Pero I think it's really parang
she really
sinadyang
saves
mislead
the-
niya.
Yeah,
Na
that's
parang,
true.
okay, if I put out my super great song from this album, then what else will people expect?
Yeah.
And also timing of the release of these songs. Like for me, I don't think Me and You Need to Calm Down would have worked. Kasi for example, in the US now, it's summer. So these
Yeah.
are times that ito yung particular sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was Pride.
Have it in Pride,
Yeah.
exactly. So those two
Yeah.
things, it packages it, the timing and everything.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I
for
think
that
3 years ago pa lang plinan na niya.
Yeah.
Ganon ka intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yun nga, parang it's really proving effective every
Yeah.
other album. Some people are saying na parang, ano to, is she just like, is she sabotaging herself by putting out her bad songs first? But I think it's a really good, especially with the
marketing,
PR.
no?
It's people
Galing.
talking. Whether
Yeah,
you love it or you
kasi
hate
kunwari
it.
with Shake It Off,
Yeah.
the switch to pop with
Yeah.
Look What You Made Me Do, the response to all the hate she's been
Yeah.
getting. And it really makes people talk regardless if it's a good song
Yeah.
or a bad song. I mean, it's marketing at its best.
Yes, that's so true.
So, general reactions first and foremost. Well, yun nga, sinabi na natin na we love this album. I think I wrote a small review on my Twitter saying it really puts all the best elements of each era of Taylor and puts it all together here. And ang saya niya, in love si Ate Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's evident.
It is.
It's like Adele in 25. Na parang after
Yeah.
19 and 21, she was also
Good point.
depressed and emo and like so sad about how will she give up
Yeah.
or will she
Yeah.
chase these
Yeah.
pavements?
Yeah.
I think for me, what's important is kasi everyone always had that fear now. What if she's happy? Will she still have that profound songwriting?
Yeah.
Kung
Yeah.
nawala na yung baggage. And I think when you're a good songwriter, you don't need that hurt, that trauma. You can let go of it and still be a good songwriter.
Yeah. And
Parang
it
ganun din
shows
eh.
here.
Yeah.
I think that was one, I read that also in one review about how, Red 1989, like they cover like losing love. But in Lover, it's about trying to maintain.
Yeah.
And
She talks about that fear.
Yeah, she
You
talks
know,
about
I
that fear, and
cannot
it's great.
Let you go.
Yeah,
Parang
yeah.
grabe. Yeah.
yeah.
And there's a lot of blue in this album.
yeah.
If you've noticed,
I listed
in
it
each
down.
song
I listed
may
it
color
down.
blue.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
not all 18 tracks have
Yeah.
the color blue in
I
it,
found, I
but
think,
like
5. So Afterglow, Lover, Cruel Summer, Paper Rings, nandun
Miss
yung-
Americana, it's also there, and there's so much. It's another Easter egg, I think. I mean, I guess it
Coming
calls
from
back to Red also.
From Red, you have this this image of intense love. It's calmed down.
Cool.
It's mature.
Yeah.
It's mature. Yeah.
So let's go.
Wait, one more because you mentioned Blue. How about marriage? The wedding theme.
There's a lot also.
Yeah, there's also.
Because one is my heart's been borrowed and yours has been blue. Like borrowed and blue.
Yeah.
She talks about church bells
And paper rings.
rice thrown on the ground.
Yes,
Grabe,
yeah.
but is she telling us something that is not yet in the
Maybe
news?
she's actually married now.
Already married. She skipped that whole media brouhaha, diba? Parang I counted.
Surprise! This is my album after I got married.
Like it's on at least 5 tracks that there's some reference to marriage and parang grabe coming from
The
teenager,
intensity.
the intensity na she seems dead set on this guy.
But there's still a lot of teenage feelings na parang
That's true.
kilig na kilig talaga siya.
Yun yung cool, that dynamic of wanting, the tension of wanting forever and knowing that this is a fun thing with someone.
Yeah.
Grabe. Parang wow.
And the maturity that this
to handle it with that.
it's like the whole spectrum from puppy love, kilig to parang mature love of thinking about
where you
marriage.
choose the person
And it all boils down, parang it all meshes together so well in one
For
album.
me, on first listen, she sounds more of a teenager in this album than in previous. But if you think about it,
Kasi pa emo si ate girl.
yeah, very emo, like the depth of a teenager to talk about love loss. Parang grabe yun. But this one, parang when you hear Paper Rings, parang ang babaw, ganun. Like, it's fun, whatever. But if you think about it, the kind of love nga she talks about, it's the long-lasting.
Yeah.
That commitment, nahalo na yung commitment to the picture and that's a different element.
Yes, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are our general reactions.
Yeah.
General pa lang yun themes pa lang.
We're putting the setting for this whole album.
Okay, so now we're gonna go track by track and talk about track 1 to track 18. This is her longest album. The one, I mean, previously mga bonus tracks or
And
deluxe edition, platinum edition, however you wanna call it. But this one is all on the album for real. Just buy one album, you get 18 tracks. That's 1 hour and 1 minute according to Spotify. That's one trip from Manila to some province already.
To EDSA lang nga.
Actually, matatapos mo na. So ito na, let's start with the beginning. I forgot that you
Opening.
existed.
Opening.
So
From opening, compared, what do you guys think?
I feel like it's so fun. I mean, Reputation was fun in its own right.
Yeah.
But this was light-hearted fun and parang the first time I opened Spotify at 12 noon in the Philippine time, ito yung first syempre. So I was like, oh my gosh, ang ganda na agad, ang sarap ng feeling ko.
Yeah.
It's parang wala lang, pero relate ka pa rin na for people you forgot existed.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, it's
Aquarius people can relate.
and you know, and also Sagittarius.
Yeah.
And it's a nice entry into what the album feels like tonally, especially yun nga coming from the darkness of the Reputation.
It's a palate cleanser. That's how I would look at it.
And that's how she said it was.
Makes sense. Parang to open with that, this is like a clear end for the chapters of both. And I guess it makes sense. For me, ang comment ko, I would say that I was wondering if you gave this, for example, to someone like, say, Katy Perry, to Meghan Trainor, or another artist, would it still be as good with a different voice? And parang
it probably will be.
Yeah, and it's because it's a generic. I find it a bit too generic na pop.
Yeah.
It's fun. It doesn't.
But when you tie it into Taylor's narrative kasi, it also works even more on a deeper level, if you can call it a deep level.
Yeah.
But yun nga, I mean, I agree with that. Na parang,
in terms of sound, parang for me, it's a bit generic, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Like ganon, yun yung feeling ko towards it.
so you feel
me,
it. You don't love it. You don't hate it. You're just indifferent.
Exactly. It's just indifference. Like honestly, as this, I get past through the song. Parang ganon. But I know there are people who ito yung favorite.
Yeah, ako rin.
Like, sobrang,
Yeah.
Okay, it's medyo ano for me Like, it sucks lang for me, but because I feel like this is the petty song. Like, diba I was saying that like every album she has to have that one
Petty
like
song.
petty spoofy
Ito na
song.
yun.
I think that this is it. And I feel like it was fun naman to listen to, especially nga if you like if it makes you think of that moment where you're like, oh, there are people like, you know, I completely forgot existed.
Yeah, this is on your petty playlist.
Yeah, it's like it's on your petty playlist. But I feel like in the longer list of things, like it's probably in the bottom half of songs from Lover. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first track. Patikim pa lang yan sa lahat na pag-uusapan. Next is already a great song. It's Cruel Summer. And here, she collaborates with Saint Vincent and Jack Antonoff, who collaborates with her with probably half of the album.
Yeah.
So, for me, this already like threw it
It's
in the park.
What a high for the album.
Yeah.
Really
I mean, it's like a spiritual sequel na to Out of the Woods and Getaway Car.
Yeah, that
I would say
the
that.
sound, the chords.
I mean, obviously,
the
because
beat.
those are both Jack Antonoff collabs,
masterpieces,
probably.
yeah.
Like I could easily see a mashup of those three songs. Like if you put them together, a remix, easily kasi they blend over each
Ito
other.
na yung trilogy.
I tried doing it with. So I was on my laptop trying to play Spotify and just layering it over.
She's a musician, guys.
Like the basic things, like the way the beat is structured, it's the same. So talagang that sound is there.
Yeah. Totally agree with that.
I
And
completely agree with that.
parang, pero for me, the fact that it's really strong at this point, parang I wish it had gone lower in the album.
Yeah.
Parang may build up na parang,
Mas may,
okay.
make it a climax.
Oo nga, parang may
Moment
climactic
talaga,
thing.
Oo.
Kasi parang,
Speaking of climax, for me in the song, like the lines that she starts to scream a line, like yung I love you, ain't that the oh my god,
I love that. I love
goosebumps
that.
talaga.
I really felt that. Like when you
parang
like you confess your love to
Yeah.
someone
Grabe
and
gumagano
you're like,
talaga.
here, have the dread of my love for you. Parang
Yeah.
ganon. Like I love that so much.
ang lakas niya.
Like a devil, oh my god.
Yeah.
Feeling ko, I can imagine it in a stadium with the audience,
Yeah.
her giving the mic to them and grab it like that.
Yung bridge
Yeah, for sure.
at the back of the car, crying from the bar.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
It is everything. And it recalls nga to the bridges of Out of the Woods. Remember when we hit the brakes too soon?
I love what makes also these contrasts. Well, not contrasts. Like the similarities is that she sets up a scene.
Yeah.
She sets up
Yeah.
this particular memory.
Yeah.
She places the actors. You call it the I think in directing the mise en scène.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you put these little parts and the embellishments, the actors, the setting. It's oh my god, like she could be a director. Like
She
the
can
visual.
if she wanted to.
She
Diba
knows.
if she weren't a musician, she wanted to become an author then.
Yeah, the way
Parang
she
I guess
sets it
that's
up
how.
nandun eh. Parang, grabe, it takes, like, I can imagine, like, with Out of the Woods, you can imagine Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Jewelry and everything.
Yeah, nasa hospital room,
Parang grabe yung image building niya.
paper planes,
Grabe. Like,
everything.
For me, her best songs are when she picks a particular memory.
Yeah.
And buhay na
And there's one song later na pag-uusapan natin
Yeah.
about that. But after she went out of the woods, sumakay siya ng car. Ngayon, she had a Cruel Summer naman.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Really good.
Yeah.
I just wish nga na...
Hindi nila marunong na daw kasi siya mag-drive. In previous...
Yeah, I saw that.
Nakisa-
Kasi yung tweet na yun eh. In previous songs, you got one hand on the steering wheel. Tapos na,
parata siyang
getaway
ano.
car. This time, siya na nag-drive. May lisensya na siya, guys.
Hindi na siya nakisakay.
Siya na mismo.
Okay, so that's Cruel Summer. So good. Next, we have Lover. Oh my gosh.
Napapagod sa review na
Ito,
to eh.
God tier na for me ang Lover.
Yeah.
I mean, even before the album came out, I was so into it. I was listening to it once I woke up,
Yeah.
on the way to
Yeah.
work. Then before I'd sleep, I'd listen to Lover
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, what is this feeling?
Yeah.
Parang vow na niya. It's a title track, of course, and it pretty much encapsulates the whole feeling of love that she wants and she
Yes.
has.
Yes.
And also the music video was released
Yeah.
prior to the
That was just...
yun nga, it represented all eras of Taylor's life with the
Yeah.
fishbowl
The
pa
rooms and
and the rooms. I mean, wow. The power, the
Yeah.
impact, the genius.
I think the appeal talaga of Lover is, like for me, I think it's definitely the kind of song that I would slow dance to with the love of my life and the refrigerator light.
If I had a love of my life.
Alam mo yung mga batang naglalandian ngayon to this song? Swerte nila doon. Yung generation nila. This song na pwede
Pero,
sinisend.
do you think Taylor is still for the Gen Zers? Or
Yun
is
nga
she more of
She's
someone
more
for us, the millennials?
Because we grew up with
They're
her.
very Billie Eilish bad guy na or ganon.
That's why Lover, I think, is so it's for our generation kasi it's more committed, I guess. Parang it's, you know, you're
She
in a
grew up
serious
the way we
relationship.
did.
And you've seen her grow
Yeah.
inside the fishbowl.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen her from her emo 15 days na wala siyang alam, na ngayon na adult na siya, mature na siya, and she knows what she wants, she knows what she has, she knows what she is. And you know, nanalo siya sa jackpot with Joe Alwyn finally after all these boys. To all the boys I've loved before. Ganon. So, I mean, go ahead.
No, I mean, I get why you say this is such a strong track, and you know why. Like, let's break down the music of why it makes it okay. So, for me, I think this track sounds very universal. Like, it doesn't seem tied to a decade.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that in terms of elements and production wise, like, it's very, she uses a lot of 70s, 80s things. Like with, for example, the reverb. So when you hear when she's singing, there's an echo, diba? It's very hollow. We can like, parang very airy. And I think that makes you feel like the song is in a smoky room, the slow dance.
Disco, yung lover.
The intonation, the enunciation, it's all there. And it's like, parang, and another thing pa that I noticed with the song. So this song, okay, music geek time, but it's in 6-8 meters. So what does that mean? That's 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, and she doesn't have that on for any other tracks, and that's what makes it a good dance prom song, because it has a waltz cadence to it. So you have that dun 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 dun. See, you get, and
go.
I got it. Another so much. You don't know why else. I'm explaining to you guys why you love it so much. The bass line. So it's got that hollow echo sound, and at the same time, compared to other songs, the bass line has a very strong melody. Because other songs, maybe she'll have a bass line that's just but this one, it moves. If you see the way it progresses throughout the song, it really moves and flows. So you know these things. Like, you don't need my degree to be able to notice these. But when you point them out,
and this has been the music teacher.
Ito yung naganap ng 15 units ko. So, like, I find it so amazing that these little elements that are very tied to, say, 70s, 80s, but you have it, when it comes together, it sounds timeless.
And I think that's what she wanted to do, have a classic 70s sounding song. I think if you read the Spotify enhanced album, may mga storylines sa baba. She says something about Lover also. And this one she wrote alone. After a day, she just went to the studio with Jack and just like worked on it. And it was so good. Ako, the very fact that this, the whole spectrum for you. For one, I feel so good. I feel so kilig. Sana I have the same love that Taylor has. But on the other end, I'm so sad. Parang, oh my gosh, when am I gonna get this? Nasaan na yung jowa ko? Ganun. But that bridge also, like, ladies,
will you please? Oh my God,
with every guitar.
The song moves it. Parang that point is such a high point emotionally with lyrics and in terms of her changing a bit of the.
It's so delicate, Gunner. Pun intended. So delicate.
Like, I could geek out on why this song is just a great song. Like,
let's make a mini-sode where Nat just talks about Lover. Take over na pala niya. Oh my gosh. So wow, Lover, top tier, God tier, love. I love her. I love her.
The
everything.
Of this
is
song.
everything.
Yeah, grabe.
Anything else?
Like, just thinking about it.
And that's just track 3.
We're just in track 3.
I'm thinking that this is a song that I'd put on the level of the Beatles pa nga. Like, because the way they handled music rin is... Okay, so one thing that's similar is the use of what you call a mellotron, or like a digital thing. So, clear yung effects no. It's something, you know, the intro of Strawberry Fields Forever, that basta ganon. You have that very lightly in this song. And parang that's what makes it, there's this timeless quality of certain instruments, of certain devices in the sound studio na parang when you put it all together, parang, oh my God, this is just good stuff. Like, I mean, Jack Antonoff did great on this song.
I love you, Jack Antonoff. Also, I mean, if you haven't listened to Jack Antonoff's work on Bleachers and Fun and everyone,
with
I mean,
Lana Del Rey, with
Lord,
with Carly Rae.
So go Jack Antonoff. I wish gumawa siya ng album ng kinakanta niya yung mga ginawa niya for other artists. That would be so fun.
yeah.
I mean, he had an album, yung Bleachers. Ginawa niyang album, pinakanta niya sa other artists yung own songs niya.
Yeah.
And Carly Rae was there also.
Mitski was there also, right?
Was Mitski
I'm
there?
not sure because I heard the Mitski cover of Let's Get Married and it was
Baka
just
nandun nga siya.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good. So, Lover, amazing.
Iconic, like that
And
slow dance
even the fact na when it came out as a single a week or two before
Before that.
or a week, mga 2 weeks before
Yeah.
the album, people were already dancing to it on their
Yeah.
weddings.
Yeah.
I saw.
May lolo and lola na nagsasayaw din. So parang wow, the impact indeed.
Yeah.
What else did you see?
I mean, like, with the weddings, a lot of people were tagging Taylor, and syempre matutuwa ka, like, the
Yeah.
music and impact.
If I had a wedding, I would probably.
You know, grabe.
Ini-imagine ko lang na may lover pero wala.
But this is one of the songs that, like,
Yeah.
goosebumps.
Oh my
ever.
gosh, so good.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the whole podcast. So next, we're moving forward to track 4. It's The Man. So for me, very reminiscent of Blank Space for sure.
With the
spiritual
perception,
sequel
yeah,
of
perception.
perceptions and self-awareness of what she's struggling
Yeah.
through. And syempre as a woman in the industry, syempre ako kasi as a man, I wouldn't be experiencing as much
Yeah.
Yeah.
struggles.
It's hard for you to see.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I can
the
see it.
double
You take it for granted.
I'm di naman sa taken for granted because basically everyone around me is like 80% female.
So yeah,
All my
like,
in my house, I'm the only guy. It's my sisters and my mom.
Yeah.
In the office, then it's all women.
Yeah.
And my family in general.
So you see what you
a lot of my
walking away
friends.
with, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parang I kind of resonate in a sense na I know what people around me are going through, but I'm not. Syempre, I'm out of that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't perceive me that way. Pero kayo, as women, how did you take this song?
Everything she points out are all 100 facts. Like,
Yeah,
no
so
lies
true.
detected.
Yeah.
Grabe, she spilled the tea on this talaga. And
Yeah.
I sympathize with her. The lyrics, they make sense, they're strong, but as a song, I'm kailang. That's my feeling.
Yeah,
to it.
that's. I think it's really I think it's the politics and the context behind it that make
Yeah.
it a strong, that make it a strong song.
Okay.
I read this other review that said that it's like the track that Reputation should have had, supposedly for like a bit more
Actually,
self-reflexive.
bagay din
I
siya
would
sa
have
rep.
liked it.
Yeah,
For rep, that would have made more
so that
sense.
it would have made people like see her point of view a bit more. But that
Yeah.
said, I think it's still great on its own.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that she wrote
And
it.
bagay din naman siya sa Lover
Totoo,
era.
oo.
Pero yun nga, sinabi din niya sa isang interview, yung interview niya with CBS, yun nga, there's a different vocabulary for men and women, and this is one of the songs that
Yeah.
put it out.
Yeah.
Yung sinabi niya ito verbatim, a man does something, it's strategic, a woman does the same thing, it's calculated.
Yeah.
A man is allowed to react, a woman can only overreact. It goes on and on. A man does something confident and bold, a woman does it the same way, she's smug. A man stands up for himself, a woman throws a temper tantrum. And
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah. Oh,
no,
especially
it's
with
true.
her,
It's so true.
she's the pinnacle of everyone's
Yes.
scrutiny.
Exactly. Oo.
I will make a point though na for me, for this to be a stronger track, kinulang siya ng sarcasm or like a bit of more irony kasi she's
Okay.
pointing out things that we know and
Yeah.
people will agree
Okay,
with.
okay.
I wish you were a bit parang kunyari, a bit more naughty with the treatment of it.
Yeah.
Mas poking fun or
Okay.
directly at the people who do these
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Parang I felt like it should have been aimed towards something. Mas may pinapatamaan.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
just more like general, like the way I perceive this track. It's a general thinking out loud that these are the concerns. Ganon.
Yeah.
Unlike Blank Space and Shake It Off, parang you feel like
There's
a direct, they have the same qualities about perception. Pero parang feeling ko, I would have aimed it in terms of something. I guess that
Okay.
would have made it like a
That's an
spicy
interesting
song,
and fun
diba?
suggestion.
Spicy
Yeah.
song, yeah.
But it's good on its
Yeah.
own. Walang tapon sa album na to. Can I just say?
I mean, I beg to differ, but
Well, we'll get to that later. We'll get there later. Okay, so anything else?
oh, she says bitch on the track.
Oh, right.
I like that line. I like that line.
Di na siya
It's like-
patweetums
Because
talaga.
Because it's me, like I'm a bitch, not
Yeah,
not a baller.
exactly.
Diba? That's-
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I mean, the very fact that she came out with a song like Dress also, it's
Yeah.
very
I remember that was
indicative
such a,
of,
ako'y na-shook dun eh. Parang,
wow, her mom doesn't even want to listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ako rin, nashock pa rin ako ng isa to Dress.
Isip ko,
Parang,
grabe.
whoa.
Wow.
Pero parang ganun, dapat lang naman 29 years old na siya,
Yeah,
'di ba? I mean, kung si Sarah Geronimo, wala pa siya masyadong sexy, naughty stuff at her age. I mean, you can say
Yeah.
Sarah Geronimo is our Taylor Swift. She's the pop superstar of the Philippines, 'di ba?
Wow, okay.
Parang ganun eh.
Gets.
The way they grew up in public,
Yeah.
and you know, the whole mommy divine thing.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Parang you can
and the
kind of
parang
say that.
The pambansang sweetheart branding.
I mean,
Yeah.
Taylor is the American sweetheart
Yes.
of music
Yeah.
at the very least. Pero yun, Sarah Geronimo, kailan ka magkakaroon ng ganong kanta?
Okay.
Okay, next, we go to track number 5.
Archer.
Super overhyped for me.
Yeah.
I mean, kasi
Really?
people have been...
I don't like the whole idea na may
Track
track 5.
five. Yeah.
Okay.
Parang all you had to do was stay with track 5 and was all too well in track 5 also. And last time it was Delicate and this time around it's The Archer.
Yeah.
Kaya for me, nasira yung perception ko kasi parang she was like, oh, this is gonna be track 5.
Lover would have been
Yeah.
track 5 that
Actually.
Okay, pwede rin. Oo.
Yeah.
Pero it took me so long to like this track, but now I actually like it na.
Yeah.
Kasi parang, especially na ilang ako dun sa Humpty Dumpty lyrics in
yeah.
the
Like, I
bridge.
loved it. Oh no. But go. Why?
Yeah, parang wala lang. Parang, really, Taylor? You're
Okay.
you're a lyrical genius and all you could come up for the bridge is Humpty Dumpty, all the king's horses and all the king's men.
Yeah.
Pero I got over it
Yeah.
ngayon. I sing to that line and
Yeah.
it's a really another, if you read the lyrics and listen to it intently, you can see yun nga, the doubt and the parang takot, the fear of like,
And the blame for herself.
Yeah.
That's very
true.
real and relatable. Parang
Yeah.
For her to acknowledge her faults. Yeah,
that's true.
that was very touching. for me.
She's so vulnerable here din
Yes.
talaga na
Yeah.
parang she cut off her nose
Yeah.
and all those lines
Yeah.
and parang
Yeah,
can you see right through me? I see right through me.
Yeah.
They see right through me. So
Yeah.
parang the whole, the public perception kasi I mean it all
and
comes back
like,
to that all the time.
My enemies were previously my friends. Like, I think that's what I liked about Archer,
Yeah.
the vulnerability of it.
Yeah.
And it's very classic Taylor to kind of use fairy tale imagery.
Yeah.
And then to
yeah.
hijack it to send this new
Yeah.
message, you know.
Yeah. And when we talk about vulnerability in terms of the sound element, like here it's very, I think the treatment of it is very just synthesizer. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very simple actually. And she again brings back that echo.
Yeah.
So the dark, like notice the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the airy, the round.
Yeah.
So it's very similar, consistent with the rest of the track. So that with the rest of the album. So that's interesting.
Ganda. I mean, ngayon, after
Yeah.
a month or so after
Yeah.
its single promo release, I actually like it na and I don't have anything against it. As compared to before na, it took me so long talaga. It made me doubt my love for her for a bit. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Really? Okay.
It's a weak track.
parang hindi naman siya, not necessarily weak, but is it still music that I would actually,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, after me and You Need to Calm Down in this. Pero now, I'm seeing it more and I'm hearing it more and I actually like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I completely agree. One of the images that I in particular like also is that of the Archer because I feel
Yeah.
like
I was like, talaga, eagle tayo.
Nor is that way,
Yeah.
girl.
I'm sorry, but I feel like it's ano kasi, I think I tweeted this. Parang it's about when you enter or when you go through different relationships, sometimes you're shot at and sometimes you do the shooting.
Or
So
sometimes you
it's that
have
play
this image na you have your lover in front of you holding the arrow and hoping he or she doesn't
Yes,
shoot.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of
It's Katniss's song.
yeah.
And yun nga, and then I realized after thinking about that whole eagle archer, I was like, oh wait, I'm a Sagittarius. I am an archer as well at some point. I mean, I guess that's also why she chose it.
Yeah.
She must be into astrology at some
Maybe,
level.
yeah.
She hasn't talked about her love for astrology yet, but who knows? That might be the next album. So next is track number 6. I Think He Knows. Okay, si Nat yata may feelings about this.
I mean, this one is another snap happy song, diba? Like it's very similar
Yeah,
to
it is.
Forgot That You Existed. That you have that
Yeah.
very pop, very clear pop sound. The more I listen to it, I love the part that it builds up to the chorus with that strong. Like I used to think I didn't like this song, but when it gets to that part, like I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
it's
ang
nice.
ganda.
Yeah.
Grabe. part.
It's really
Grabe.
good.
Wala, it's just stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
Even if you'd like to believe it's in the lower parts
Yeah.
in your ranking,
Yeah.
parang it still takes you back into the
Exactly,
song.
exactly.
This song grew on
Yeah.
this one particularly.
It has a Carly Rae Jepsen quality to it. No? I mean,
Actually,
like that kind of, yung jumpy and all that.
Carly could
yeah.
sing the song
Exactly.
if emotion side C, ganun.
Yeah.
Grabe.
So-
Feel ko mahirap yung kantahin, sing along with her kasi ang taas.
Yeah.
Imagine mo in the concert, mga tao.
Pero yun nga, pa-cute. Medyo may pa-cutesy.
Pa-cute,
I think he knows I have a crush.
Yeah.
All that. But
Yeah. It's juvenile but fun.
it's
diba?
super fun. And, Jack Antonoff,
Yeah.
again, just killing it all the time.
And the way she, like, for me, the way she spits lyrics on this one is interesting. Like, basta she like the way she
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
that
yeah.
beat, ang ganda. I like
Yeah.
her flow. Like, I was surprised na parang she's taken a lot from rap and hip-hop na the way something would
Yeah.
flow. And I think the influence is there on this track.
Yeah.
It's really cool how she is almost rapping in the faster verses.
Yeah. Yung parang before getting to the chorus,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, wow. That's it. That's the tweet. Okay,
The
we're
next
going
one
to...
is interesting.
It's interesting. Miss
yeah.
Americana and the Heartbreak Prince.
Wildest Dreams plus So It Goes for me. Like that airy, darker, a bit more in the I think a minor key maybe, I'm not sure, but it's got that like that.
Yeah.
Humihinga siya eh. Parang very Moira de la Torre. This one. Yeah. Yun yung nakita kong clear sound, but
Yeah.
in terms of lyrics, obviously different from Wildest Dreams and So.
And it's more of her reaction na to the criticisms
Yeah,
for
the political
and she's
stated it in the secret sessions like this is a political song.
yeah, and
Yeah.
but she
Interesting.
placed it nicely into a Taylor Swiftian song
Yes.
na okay,
Into
it's
the
a high
Taylor Swift
school
mythology.
parang it's a
Yeah.
high school song, but at the same time
Yeah.
there's political turmoil.
Yeah.
The bad people are winning.
Yeah.
I'm just running away. At andito ka, katabi
Yeah.
ko, parang gano'n ang sinasabi niya. And I mean, that in itself is already indicative of how she's maturing and how
Yeah.
she's already owning her parang statements and what she believes in and
That's
what her
I
advocacies
like that
are.
it's coming to an idea of disillusionment nga, that you had this idea of an all-American sweetheart tapos kinuha siya ng right-wing fans, diba? Like she had that, so parang shocks there's my music has that political impact, and for her to see
Yeah.
that awakening is very interesting kasi parang wala naman siyang kinalaman technically if right-wing people take
Yeah.
on her music, but this is her shedding now, like she's growing up. There's this disillusionment that America is the best thing that Americans
Yes.
tend to have that land
Yeah.
of the free, red, white,
Yeah.
and blue. They love
Yeah.
it. You see them on the 4th of July, and here is a bit of that crumble of that image, and I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting with its tie into high school.
And ang ganda rin ng bridge. Yung cheerleader.
Yes, yeah,
It's a take
yeah.
on that cheerleader
Yeah.
chants.
Yeah.
And she uses it for more like parang
Yeah.
wokeness, if you can say that.
Woke points awarded.
Woke points
yeah.
awarded.
I think what makes the song also in particular interesting to me is precisely how it tries to take on yung social aspect, but in the Taylor Swift mythology.
Yeah.
So it has to be like a high school setting or yung
Yeah.
typical Taylor Swift imagery that we see. But I think it's interesting for me because of the possibilities that it will lay out for the future of Taylor's music.
Yeah.
So parang, like for me kasi, lyrics-wise, it's very... If you just analyze the lyrics in and of itself, parang konti pa lang yung indicators that it's a
Yeah.
political
It's very
song.
veiled.
You know,
It's
it's
Yeah.
still very veiled. But I think
You
it's
can
a
take
nice,
it one way or
Yeah.
another.
But I think it's a nice foundation at the very least for the possibility na, okay, there is a possibility for Taylor to talk about politics, but at the same time to like do it in a classic Taylor Swift.
She's gonna be like, oh,
Yeah. It is very Taylor.
Handling, yeah.
she's gonna be like, sige, may jowa na ako, masaya na ako sa buhay ko. Let's just talk about
Yeah.
politics on my songs instead.
So that's exciting for me.
Yeah.
Maybe in 2020
Yeah.
2020 na ba sila?
2020.
2020, we'll see what happens.
Maybe.
Next year na, ang bilis ng American
Yeah.
presidential administration.
Yeah.
Totoo. Oo. One project that I'm wondering if she'll ever like take on, because I know that she's like she donated to March for Our Lives.
yeah.
And like
Gun control.
gun control. Like I'm wondering if she's ever gonna weigh in on that, because we see that she's been weighing in on like abortion, like
Gay rights.
yeah, gay rights, etc. I wonder if she'll ever weigh in on that in particular, because the imagery actually of how students get affected by this is a very Taylor Swift world.
Oo nga,
right?
actually.
Yung high school setting
Yeah.
is very Taylor Swift. So it would be interesting if she would get to produce something that tackles that theme, but with the same treatment of songs.
That
like
would be
Soon
so
You'll Get
dark.
Better. It would be dark, but it would be like parang yung grief, yung like Soon You'll Get
Yeah.
Better, like her
Yeah.
sad songs.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if she'll ever like do that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Marami pa namang taon.
Yeah, I mean, for this one, for me, this song and its placement in the album marks for me the first group of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can start with I Forgot That You Existed and end with Miss Americana for the first.
Yeah.
Because the way when I listen to the album, my 3 parts parang this
Yeah.
is the first. This is Act 1 for me.
Yeah.
Actually,
That
yung
was,
intro ko to the next song, it's gin na eh. I think
Yeah.
this is the meat. This is... Ito na yung home run ng album eh.
I just wanna say. Yeah, no, but for me, that chunking of these songs, this is a good
Yeah.
book and do it.
Which I think Cruel Summer fits into the second act
Yeah,
more than the
okay.
first
Yeah.
act.
Sige.
Pero here, we're at the meat of it all. I think this is
Yeah.
like the climax na, if you can call it a climax, or the golden...
The album builds
Yeah.
at this point.
Yes,
You can
yes.
feel it. I mean, I remember thinking at first na Paper Rings is like stupid, inane, whatever.
But it's
parang the more
the
I
very-
listen to it, it's also another growing song really
Yeah.
for me.
Ako, from the get-go pa lang,
Okay,
Pepper
you
Rings
like it.
already
I
a
liked
fave.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Bleachers din talaga, and this is
Yeah,
distinctly, you can make Jack Antonoff sing this song and it
Yeah,
would
yeah.
work. And the very fact na the way Taylor sings some lines, parang
Yeah.
Bleachers na rin siya eh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gumagano'n siya in the
Yeah.
background with the clapping. And
Yeah,
there's actual
exactly.
clapping in the background, but
Yeah.
it's that kind of song nga.
Yeah, so parang, yes, this is
Yes,
very 80s.
definitely.
Taylor was very open about wanting not so modern take on pop in
Yeah.
this track. And parang kumakanta ka ng Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so fun, it's so good, but it's also very clever, the songwriting.
Yeah.
The lyrics here na
sweet.
parang, yung contrast between having a crush and now I'm on your bedside reading your books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also the very parang disillusionment of what love is supposed to be, not
Yeah.
material things.
Yes, exactly.
So she'd
That's what I
marry
love about it.
Joe
Yeah.
with paper rings, basically. And, I think given that she's Taylor Swift and she owns pretty much
yeah.
Yung fortune
Yeah.
niya, diba? Yeah.
parang to have the idea that
Yeah.
paper rings lang yung pangkasal mo, parang
Love's
that on its
impossible,
own.
diba?
But it goes so deep, but parang the experimentation in
Yeah.
the type of song it is already so good, and it's a
Yes.
total bop.
Yeah.
Hindi ko kinaya yung, and if I may transition to Cornelia Street, hindi ko kinaya yung Paper Rings, Cornelia Street,
Yeah.
back to back. Like the level of commitment in a relationship
Yeah.
that those two songs like portray.
Yeah.
I think like it was great that they were put next to each other. Yeah.
So nasa Cornelia Street na ba tayo? we're
Google Maps.
we're entering that territory. We're
Yeah.
walking towards a Greenwich village,
Yeah.
and we're going to 23 Cornelia Street, the apartment that Taylor
Yeah, yeah.
rented in 2016.
Again, this is her framing a memory.
Uh-huh.
And like our favorite part of the
Exactly.
album, this is a specific
Exactly.
memory. You've got the imagery, you've got the feeling, you've got the character. Parang like what I was thinking when I was listening to it. It's not particularly different in sound, in terms
Yeah.
of sound. You can actually layer it. Again, I tried playing Delicate over this and it fits. As in, you
Yeah.
can remix them easily. But I like this a lot more than Delicate. Even when they somewhat sound the same. And I've been trying
Yeah.
to figure out what's so special about this song. Parang grabe, like I find myself singing to it out
Yeah.
loud. It's
Yeah.
grabe.
And this is probably one of the best na talaga in the album. I mean, aside
Yes,
from
I
Lover,
think
which we
so.
talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, ayun nga, another song after Paper Rings. On the get-go, I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what a great
You're-
song.
yes.
And, Parang I was reading up on this, and apparently ito rin yung same place where King of My Heart took place, yung may rooftop.
Yes.
And it's in the same apartment.
Yeah.
And I saw the pictures of the apartment. Ang ganda, grabe.
Ang ganda niya, ang ganda niya.
No wonder you wouldn't want to forget about Cornelia Street.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear this version acoustic on piano. Like, I
Same
need
here.
this on piano
Same
because
here.
it has that same emotional charge as Red. I know,
Yeah.
sorry, I mean All Too Well.
Yes,
Yeah.
But
exactly.
even the imagine piano chords
Yeah.
down and just
Yes.
playing and just her
Yes.
voice, it fits. Like, I would have
Yeah.
loved this stripped down. I mean, it works on its own now. I love
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
for this live, I want it acoustic. Like, this is just
I
good stuff.
completely agree. And
Yeah.
I love how, because for every tour, like for the past couple of tours, she usually mashes up a couple of soft songs for her
And
piano.
brings it out,
right?
the piano.
Like in the 1989 tour, she did both Wildest Dreams and Enchanted. And then for
For
the rep
Reputation,
tour,
she did New Year's Eve,
Long Live,
New Year's
right?
Eve,
Yeah,
New Year's Day,
yeah.
and
Long Live, right?
Long Live.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, like for this bit, like she's gonna do Cornelia Street
plus
and
delicate.
something.
Plus delicate. Well,
Yeah.
if you want to
Or
hear
All
the
Too Well.
like
Yeah.
this fits. Like
Ang galing ng mash, pwede mo talagang i-mash up
this
yung mga Taylor Swift
serves
songs.
piano treatment. Like
Yeah.
this song, I need it. Like give
I need
it
an
to me.
all-piano Taylor Swift album.
Yes, I agree.
The emotion you can feel from that, I
Yeah.
feel, would
Yeah, yeah.
be even more.
Would be so
than-
strong.
Yeah.
Like just her Out of the Woods piano was
So let's root for Joe and Taylor because it's putting out so much good songs.
Yeah.
Pangalawang album na ni Joe Alwyn to, di ba? I mean, 1989
We
was
stand
one per...
Joa Alwyn.
Yeah, let's do it. Go Joa Alwyn. Baka asawa Alwyn na talaga siya. So, next trip ko sa New York, I'm definitely going to this place. Para may caption ka na,
Sayang nga, parang yung trip ko kung kailan tapos na. Ano na.
hindi mo alam na may
Yeah.
ganong
Yeah.
importance. Okay, so next, Death by a Thousand Cuts. I think this is a very strong song as well. Parang in the beginning, first listens, okay.
Yeah.
But then every time I listen to the album again and again, parang it gets stronger and it's so good. Kayo, ano
that's
masabi?
the same register as a number of songs from 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the way I noticed there's a lot when you listen to the song. You have that like a lot
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on in the background, and it sometimes feels messy, but I also think that's what makes it a bit like sort of my magical aspect. Like this is like glitter and sparkles in a music
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot reflecting going on.
Yeah.
But it works. Parang noon I remember my first listen. This is kind of strange, but I like it. Like, and especially this one has been growing on me. This one is another. This is my second track that was okay. Sax lang at first.
Yeah.
And this one like
Another grower.
yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
Anything else? Basta I just like listening
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
just, yeah.
Next, London Boy. I mean, obviously,
What
this
a
is one of
hilarious song.
one of the sweet nothings she has for Joe,
yeah.
and it's really fun. I mean, it's very stereotypical, obviously about
Any reference to London, yeah.
lahat. May pubs, may West End, may
Rugby.
Yeah.
everything. But parang maganda rin yung contrast kasi about America, London,
yeah.
but where home is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a really
was
great
nice
metaphor.
No, and I what I like is people have been wondering kung patama ba to kay Kanye with American Boy, diba? You'll be my witness
Oh.
now, right? So I was like, okay, parang is that something? Parang interesting lang, parang ganon. Parang ganda. Parang I think it's funny, it's light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
plays-
clever also.
It plays on when like intercultural relationships and you wanna know everything about this person.
Yeah.
This is where they came from.
Yeah.
You wanna immerse
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
in the culture. Parang
Yung mga naghahanap ng afam dyan. Ito na yung theme song nyo, London Boy.
So yun nga, parang grabe yung
I mean, who wouldn't want an accent?
Yeah.
Diba?
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I would want to go there just to get an
the
accent myself.
accent, the dimples and everything. Grabe. Another character building piece where she just describes the guy and their dates. And
Yeah.
it's as simple as naming the places, but it works. It's a clever song. It's not my favorite. It's okay. For me, I'd say it's a sax song, but it's a funny thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
especially when she says, God, I love the English. Like, tawang
And then yung I fancy you.
Yeah.
I fancy
Oh my
you.
God, as in, this is the playfulness that I would have wanted
In the man.
diba? That
Okay,
there's that a bit of the sarcasm, the irony. She recognizes she's being funny na. Parang this is fun. This is a fun piece. for
Yeah.
me. So that's what I liked about it.
So, yun nga, in this second half, sana lang Cruel Summer was included
Yeah.
in it. Para wow, ito na talaga yung peak
Yeah.
of Lover.
That could have been for this second chunk of
Yeah.
summer.
So next, we're going to Soon You'll Get Better. Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
The emotion.
Yeah. I got chills listening
Yeah.
to it, and like I got so sentimental. Like I really felt like it is a return to country Taylor.
Yeah, definitely.
And with the
Yeah.
Dixie Chicks,
Yeah.
working, diba?
Yeah.
Parang they haven't been talked about in a long time.
Yeah.
And I think like when I was reading up on them, because I remember like growing up, you hear of the Dixie Chicks, but I wasn't like any fan of their music or anything. And it's because they got political with the George
Yes.
Bush movement and
Yeah.
country Republican, that baggage. You're not
Yeah.
gonna succeed. You're not gonna have
Yeah.
a career after that. And
Yeah.
I like what Taylor's doing is just bringing them back.
Kasi ganun din si
Yeah.
Taylor.
Exactly.
With the quote-unquote
Yeah.
country. I mean, she's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But like, she grew up in
Yeah.
that redneck area,
Yes.
you would
Yeah.
say. And I guess that's a good callback nga.
And
And
parang I like the way they back her on the chorus. Parang it's very light lang yung echo nila and yung harmony nila. But it's just so fragile and soft and grabe. Parang this is so sincere.
And like, yun nga, another fear then, syempre,
The mom.
this is about
Yes.
Andrea and her battle and the relapse
Yeah.
dun sa cancer niya. And Taylor herself said na she can't even listen to this song or play it
perform it.
live. So
Yeah.
parang, whatever.
They had to make a decision as a family to put it on the track.
Uh-huh.
I feel like what a gift to us fans to share that moment, to bring us into this
The
thing.
private
Yeah.
My
life,
gosh, like-
more or less. And a lot of the fans love Andrea herself,
Yeah,
diba?
for
In
sure.
concerts, sa Papa
Yeah.
Pictures,
Yeah.
ganun. And ganun talaga sa showbiz, even with people I work with. Kilala ng mga tao yung mom ng artist.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
they have a relationship with the mom. And yun nga, regardless if you're going through family and who have sickness or parang you'll
That
get better
fear,
from
that-
your mental health anxieties
Yeah.
and all that. Parang it's just really all there and it's pure Taylor Swift magic.
Yeah.
The poetry again when she talks about holy bottles of orange or holy orange
Bottles.
Like the medicine. Like I was like when I was reading through it, parang grabe. And I
Yeah.
like when she admits, I know I don't want to make it about me.
Yeah.
But who am I
Yeah.
gonna talk to? Like, oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
killed me. Like I'm getting goosebumps now. Like
Yeah.
I'm feeling it kasi grabe ang sakit ng admission of that. Like grabe naiyak ako. Oh my god.
Wow.
Anyway,
And yung parang sabi her call to desperation to pray to Jesus.
Yes.
Parang,
yes.
yun nga, I don't think
crisis niya pumapasok.
Yeah, kasi parang she hasn't really been showing herself off as a religious person to
Yes.
begin with, but to allow people into that whole
That whole aspect
of her life na, she's not super religious or at least in
Yeah.
this song she says she isn't until the time na, she really
Yeah, at this
needs
point.
it. Oo.
Yeah. And I feel like it definitely is a gift to fans because I'm sure that a lot of people who have family members or friends who have battled with not just cancer but any kind of
Any pain,
like any
and
kind of
this
pain, any
fear,
kind of
oo.
disease, like this is a song that will definitely resonate with them.
gosh, this is just like
Classic.
Yeah.
Okay. So, dito na tayo sa track 13.
Yeah.
Malapit na tayo matapos.
Dapat na.
Actually, mahaba na yung episode na to. Lampas na tayo sa
Oh my
oras.
God.
But, I'm giving it all to Taylor Swift because we love her. So, next we're in False God. Okay.
Ooh,
so,
I mean, for me, this one is the sexy, sensual,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
dress version for this album, and also that when I think of, I would say that for me, this would be the Carly Rae song. In a way, the way
Pwede
it's
rin,
sung, the way it's
actually.
sung, because of the
Yeah.
jazzy. It's got that sax
Ta-ta-ta-na.
intro. It's in a minor key, and it's like for me, I feel like I would give this also to Carly Rae without any like hesitation
Yeah.
because it sounds so good. Like
yeah. Pero yun nga,
Smooth.
it's really nice that she's experimenting more and more, especially on this album with different sounds. And it still works kahit iba-iba yung
Yeah.
atake niya per song. Parang it works cohesively with the storyline and everything. And
Yeah.
yun nga, the false god complex of giving her all
Yung
to
idolatry.
of a loved
For
one.
me, again, what makes her mature this time, she's willing to admit desire and
Yeah.
lust. Like, oh my God, scandal, diba? Parang for her to admit these physical things, my gosh, parang, I don't know, like this song for me is like whiskey in a bar and a smoky, like a cigar.
Or like in an
everything.
intimate room with a fireplace lang.
Yeah, exactly. Parang
Yung parang aakitin ka niya.
It's seduction, it's desire, and I think that's parang this is different. Like that was my reaction to it. I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's False God.
Yeah.
And we're here
Now our
in Nat's favorite track. Track number 14. You need to calm down.
I will say though, I mean, like, although I also agree, like, it's not my favorite track
Same.
as a song.
Same.
But I think that it did its job in the sense that because of the music video and like its production
Yeah.
and everything,
People
talked about it.
She gave attention, she gave the spotlight.
Yeah,
And she gave
glad
a
that so many
petition.
donations, diba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt like in that sense, on that level, like it did its job.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's fun. It's fun and it's clever again with all the imagery she put into it. And pero yun nga, it could just be a standalone song for all it's worth.
Yeah.
I would have loved to keep it off the album.
Yeah.
Released during Pride Month or something like that. And then parang, okay, this is
that
a
makes
special
sense.
theme song.
Yeah.
Kasi, for example, why I don't like it as a music aside from the lyrics is you are somebody that like I hate that the way she's singing, like putol, tapos parang the melody is off. Parang there's just something about it that doesn't work for me. Like versus the smoothness she's had throughout the album. Tapos dito parang, I mean, I like the playfulness.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I love it whenever she's dunking on her haters.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. But as a song, it's just like I remember like trying playing again and again. Look,
Yeah.
wala pa rin.
Ako nagustuhan ko naman talaga siya, pero thinking of the bigger picture with the
In
rest
the
of
macro,
Lover, it doesn't really fit too well into the narrative even. Parang okay, yeah, Taylor has gay friends or everything, but how does it fit into the whole narrative aside from having being outspoken na about her advocacies and what she believes in?
Yeah.
Parang it doesn't
It felt
sit
a bit
too well.
to me to Girl Squad version 2.0. Like
With Gay Squad.
Whenever she brings out and parades all these famous people, and they kind of come off as props. That's how I felt with. That was my hesitation with this track.
Yeah.
Like I recognize obviously that my identity as a straight woman, I don't have the ultimate say on this.
Yeah.
I completely concede that. But I feel like I'm a bit worried, when people capitalize sometimes on the issues.
Is
Like
it very tokenistic lang or?
Sometimes, but I know she means well.
Yeah.
I know, I have it in my heart that Taylor
Yeah, I'm sure.
Alam ko talaga. But yun nga, sometimes it can come off as Girl Squad.
Yeah, it's Gay Squad this time.
Gay Squad this time, diba? Parang look at me, I'm so in, everyone thinks I got the teases and everything. But
Yeah.
a bit,
The spectacle of it all.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But I loved how the drag queens were there. It's from a Queer Eye.
It's good.
Queer Eye Fab Five was
Put them
there.
in the spotlight, like bring that, bridging it to what straight people would usually not pay attention to. That I give her props for. It's just like, let's be careful with the tokenism, with the Girl Squad. Like I would.
Pero maganda rin kasi she also puts that image of why are you pitting women against other women, all that.
She made some points.
We all deserve crowns. That's what
She
she's
made
saying.
points. I will definitely.
I mean, that's the good part about this song.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yun nga, we feel the same about this.
But as a
Next.
song, exactly. Next, thank you.
Okay, next is Afterglow. It's a good song, but I don't really have any comments about it as much as I do the other
I'll
songs.
admit, it's forgettable for me, and that's all I can say.
I agree, but I think lang like what I guess like my sole comment for it is that since we were talking about how Lover tackles a more mature kind of love, I like how Afterglow or the concept of Afterglow has a humility when it comes to fighting with the other. Unlike the old Taylor albums where she revels in fighting with her lover, like she revels in picking a fight, diba? Like in Stay, in like some albums in Red. But here,
Aminado na siya.
Aminado na siya na, okay, like I was the one who did wrong.
It's on me.
It's on me. Yeah.
Yun na.
So I think that I like that humility.
Yun nga, Sagittarius energy. So Afterglow, I guess that's pretty much everything we have to say.
Yeah.
So we're back to that. You need to calm down discussion with the next track, which is Me, the lead single of this album.
For me, it reminded me a bit the way it's built is kind of like Shake It Off.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same playfulness. It's a little slower beat, but you get that elements of like a fun trumpet,
Yeah.
fun, like go 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 kind of spirit. I mean the song, but Brendan Urie just.
Ako sayang si Brendan for me
Yeah,
here.
okay.
I would have put him in Paper Rings. That would have been like a super fun Panic at the Disco
Okay.
Taylor Swift
That would be a
vibe.
great collab.
Super bagay. Pero, you know, this is a really good and fun song. And when I first heard it, I wrote a review for another person for this track. And I was like, it's fun, yes, but, you know, one, the pattern of Swift and what her lead single will be. So alam na natin na, okay,
Yeah.
this is a throw off to what the whole album will be. But two, parang, okay, what's the depth into this song? Okay, you'll never find another lover like me. But
Yeah.
aside from that, what?
Self-accept. I mean, I guess the self-acceptance.
Pero yun
That's
nga,
why,
parang-
Yeah.
for me, it works because it was in the summer, in the
Yeah,
US at least.
yeah.
Like, they
Yeah.
need these upbeat
And the music
songs.
video was so good.
Yeah,
the music video
it's
is
a-
Wow. Pero yun nga, in this song, in this album version, she took out "Hey kids, spelling is fun."
Yeah.
I'm curious.
What do you
I would
think-
love
what do you
for
think
the
about
reason.
that?
Anong theory niyo about that?
Well, wala pa kasing comment officially about
But
it.
this is very noticeable. Like, you would notice that line.
Kasi I already grew. I mean, in the beginning, I was like, really? Again? Why?
siya eh.
But after this came out without that part, I was like, why? I already come to
grew-
terms
yeah.
with it. And I like saying, hey kids, spelling is fun.
Yeah. Yun nga, like, I feel like she's at the point that she's so up there as a pop star that she can throw in these stupid lines and get away with it.
Yeah.
But
Ito yung
it's
quote
still-
niya.
True.
So we were in the studio and we wanted everyone to know that this song is not really serious because it's not like a serious love song. And I guess that
Yeah.
I mean that
captures it.
But I don't know. I mean, for the first time in forever, she gave in to public scrutiny with that line.
Okay.
I don't know.
Weird, though.
It's really weird.
Let's
but
wait for the explanation.
so I made a playlist nga na it's the whole lover with me, the single version
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Hey Kid, because I can't get that out of
yeah,
my.
yeah.
Oh my
Kasi even
God.
with the album version na drum line lang siya,
Yeah.
I'd still sing it out loud.
Yeah.
Hey Kid, spelling is fun. I mean, it's just a fun song.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
is.
And you know, again, I kind of feel the same way with You Need to Calm Down.
Yeah.
Then. Okay, so we're getting to the last two tracks. Two tracks.
I did not know this about It's Nice to Have a Friend, that the streams go to a Canadian.
Yes,
That's
they just
really-
revealed
the
it
choir,
recently.
The background, the choir,
Yeah.
and then the tracks, musical.
So that in itself is very selfless
Yeah,
for her
I think that's great.
to donate not just the proceeds of the song but also for sampling and all that. The royalties will go to the choir. I mean, it's
Yeah.
important. Syempre siguro as a musician, a struggling musician in the beginning,
Yeah.
she knows the struggle of how, you know, mahirap makuha yung pangarap mo and you need some
Yeah.
help from a friend.
Yeah.
And at the same time, aside from that whole charity thing, I think the song is really cute then na parang it's nice to have someone by your side,
Yeah.
all that. And I really felt the Big Little Lies vibe yung ganun yung, alam mo
Yeah.
yung theme song ng Big Little Lies,
Yeah.
yung kantang yun, ganun din eh. And I think someone spliced those together on Twitter.
Okay.
But I think it got copyrighted, so it's gone
Okay.
now.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was just okay. Like, again, for me, when I rank the songs, would be on my weaker side. Or more of because I just don't get what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, you got the drum, you got the choir
Yeah.
the choir backing, you got
May parang
the
ukulele
steel
girl
drum,
feels.
You get the weird sudden there's a trumpet solo. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to make sense of the song. The lyrics are okay, but I mean, all in all, it doesn't super work for me. Like,
Yeah.
I would forget this easily. It's just a weird track, but I guess it's good. Like, I wish she gave them a better track. If she's gonna make money for them, give them the good track.
Yeah.
One that people would
One
stream
that
more.
people would sell more, diba?
Pero I mean, I guess it's short and sweet. It's the shortest
It is,
song
yes.
I think out of the whole
yeah.
album, and you know, I think it shows yun nga na friendship is the foundation of a relationship,
Yes, that's-
and it's very hopeful, para momentous penultimate track in by the end of everything.
Yeah.
Yun, that's pretty much all for It's Nice to Have a Friend for me. Kayo, may masasabi pa ba kayo?
Wala.
Okay, so we're down to our last track,
Daylight.
which is Daylight. So
Umabot na ng New Day, guys. Kasi
Yeah.
sa tagal ng
Oo
review
nga.
na.
True. So, ayun, yung sinabi niya dito sa song is, I once believed that love would be burning red, but it's golden. And that's pretty much
Maturity.
captures the whole parang maturity nga of Lover in general na parang, okay, it doesn't have to be burning red.
Yeah.
She has to calm down and, you know, just
Let the light
experience.
in.
Yeah, let the light in.
Yeah.
After that whole darkness era. And yun, parang,
We've talked about blue being a recurring theme
Yeah.
of the album, and like the way I imagine with this daylight is when let me get poetic here, but you know when the ocean, when the sunlight hits and it glimmers,
Yeah.
parang yun yung shine niya eh. Parang
Yeah.
it's calm, it
Yeah.
shines. Yun na yung
and you're satisfied with where you are in
like
your life.
that-
Yeah.
It's smooth waters, it's smooth sailing, and it's just the way something is so special in
Yeah.
your life, and this is the daylight being passed out,
Yeah.
like being passed to us listeners as well.
It's a good closer.
Yeah.
It's okay, yeah.
And it's another song she wrote herself.
Yeah, and it's very consistent with the tradition of Taylor Swift closing songs.
Yeah.
Diba? Like New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Like Begin Again. And
Clean.
Yeah, so it's very
Standard edition.
Yes.
Grabe, oo, parang there's that
You don't know where it ends.
Yeah, no, kasi
Yeah.
parang when this close, parang you can feel like you can breathe now easy at the
Yeah.
end of the album. Lalo na ang
Yeah.
tagal, guys.
Ang tagal.
Songs. I mean, for
Yeah.
me, I would have trimmed this
I
song
agree.
to make it
Yeah.
like a solid, compact thing. But I like at least with the last song, it's this ending space, and with that
Yes.
outro, it's
Yeah.
you're done, kasi this whole album can be cathartic, very cathartic, and this
It takes you so many places.
Yeah.
many places, and this is just the decompression now.
From the pettiness
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
beginning
Yeah.
to the
To the
deeper
vulnerability.
vulnerability and emotion
Yeah.
from parang having sweet nothings ulit,
Yeah.
tapos parang getting to the K lang songs.
Yeah.
And then now you're back to the whole, parang it just
cathartic.
closes it and ties it down so well. So yun, what's our final verdict on this album?
I mean, I remember you mentioned a while ago that this gives a taste of previous albums.
Uh-huh.
And I think the fact that I can draw comparison with
To
so many
each,
singles,
yeah, yeah.
Each
Yes,
track reminds
yes.
And not just singles, but
Like,
also
even
other
her
tracks.
other
Yeah.
tracks.
This for me, this album, is it innovative and new? Maybe not so much.
Yeah.
But I like how it takes parts of 1989 with Reputation, with
Fearless even.
Fearless.
Yeah.
You get all of that in this one album, and I think this is
This is her. This is Taylor.
This is a
Yes.
summary album. I
Uh-huh.
would call it at this point in her career, she is summarizing what she has achieved.
Yeah.
And she wants to maintain it. Parang
Yeah.
yung nasa sense ko, at least lyrics wise, music, how it sounds.
Yeah.
You get that there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it peak Taylor because I know she'll come up with even
Something
better.
more, yeah.
But this on its own,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, I agree na it could be shorter. Actually, I made ang dami kong Lover playlists. Gumawa ko
There are different cuts.
gumawa ko ng different cuts of
follow
Lover.
nyo na guys si Cholo sa
Hanapin nyo sa Spotify.
Yung
Meron akong ginawa kong parang emotion, Lover. So, 14 tracks lang yung Lover na yun. Tapos gumawa ko ng Lover side B.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
With the tracks I would have removed.
Yeah.
So, tapos yung Cruel Summer, binaba ko siya, as I said
Yeah.
earlier. So, it actually works. I mean, it still works in general, but
Yeah.
I think my playlists are just
Yeah.
fun to have.
Ako rin, since laglagan na ng playlist, I have this one playlist on my Spotify now. Taylor songs particularly relevant to me. And it's just 12 songs that I just remember relating
Yeah.
to. Parang grabe, like I think that's what makes her music so timeless. It's we can piece together our parts,
Yeah.
what we like and what we don't,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
build this album that relates to us and what memories we have, so that tayo naman
Or memories we want to have.
So tayo
Lover.
naman yung center ng narrative na
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's the really cool part na parang grabe, like I feel like I'm in Cornelia Street when I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like imagine being placed and thrown there, and that's what her music does and where it takes us. And
She's just like, I mean, I guess this really cements, I mean, if we haven't already known
Yeah.
as one of the best singer, or like great, best, I don't know how to say
Yeah.
it, basta her lyrical genius
Yeah.
of this generation,
Yeah.
like wow. The songwriting, I don't think anyone else has the same level
Yeah.
of parang
Ownership
it's so
of
intricate,
intimacy
but
with
also
her.
universal. So
Yes.
parang wow, the whole spectrum, it's all in there. Taylor Swift, you have done it again.
Yeah.
So
All this makes me very excited also for like I agree the definitely it could have been shorter, but it also makes me excited for the growth that she will also have in the future.
even more
Even
in her
more,
wedding album,
yeah.
or whatever.
So
So hopefully
Very
si Jowa,
Yeah.
Jowa Alwin. Oo nga, tuloy-tuloy lang siya.
Grabe.
Top tracks,
Oh, I mean, we all
Definitely.
agreed with Lover for sure.
Lover,
Yeah.
Lover,
Cruel Summer, Paper Rings ako, and Cornelius
Cornelius
Street.
Street.
But
Paper Rings is also up there for me.
if you were to have a holy trinity, it's probably Cruel Summer, Lover, and Cornelius Street.
I think.
But everything's so good, walang tapon naman talaga for me.
Yeah.
Nasa side B lang yung iba.
Totoo.
Lover side B.
cheat.
Wala. Pero, wow, she has gifted us with 18 great tracks. And,
I mean, she's gifted us with Instagram captions to come. Like,
she's
ang dami
gifted
na
us
nating
she's
lines
gifted us
na
with
pwede
5
na.
fence holes.
As in, grabe, parang I was thinking already, she delivered a lot of zinger lines. Parang, I mean, for Lover Alone or whatever, parang I'm excited to weave it into like a caption or whatever.
Yeah,
Kasi
yeah.
ang galing.
Okay, so I guess that's pretty much it. The last thing is, what else are we expecting for Taylor Swift? Like, what's the future? Of course, she said she will re-record her album.
Yeah.
The tour. We're waiting on the tour.
Please come here. You have been racist for 1989 and Reputation.
Filipino
Just
stans
kidding,
are
not racist
waiting.
naman, but like, why didn't you go to Southeast Asia except for Singapore?
Tsaka kay Duterte, ganun.
No, I think there have been some artists who have expressed that, so it's not.
So,
But I think
Yeah.
it's with Reputation. It's also parang the sheer scale of the Reputation
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah.
Yung
Where will you
lahat
put
niya.
it?
Totoo.
Probably Philippine Arena, but it's not still. It's still not a stadium, diba?
Yeah.
Oo, grabe. Ang hirap.
And yun, I mean, 1989, that was so sad because
Yeah.
I was in the US with her tour in New Jersey, and my mom was like, hintay mo lang sa Pilipinas. So I was like,
So,
okay.
hindi mo, pero wala.
So I was like, wala. Naghintay ako sa wala.
Oh, no.
But we're very hopeful because she did say in a mixed interview that she's coming back for the Lover tour. So hopefully,
Okay. Exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
for me, I'll find her wherever it's Europe or US talaga.
Ako rin.
I'm gonna fly na for her
So,
now that I have the money to fly for her. And
I'm
yun.
looking forward to the re-recordings also.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would listen to like acoustic / piano versions of like her old songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we never know. Kasi even Taylor herself was like, she only looks forward to the next 6 months, not
Yes.
even a 10-year plan or a 5-year
Yeah.
plan, which I agree. I don't really believe in like
Yeah.
10-year plans. Like, paano kung hindi gumana yung plano mo?
Pero may theory ako na I think that towards when she's reaching retirement or like when she's old na, babalik siya sa country.
Pwede.
Isa siyang country na
Album. I mean, Lady Gaga had that phase also with
Yeah.
Joanne. I wouldn't call it a phase, but like that era of
That
Gaga where she
project,
went to that. I mean, who knows?
Our return to roots would be very interesting.
Yeah.
As a
Gagawa siya ng country re-recording of
and then artistic
1989.
reflection. Now
Yeah,
that
yeah,
she's
yeah.
learned everything from pop, from hip hop, because she takes very heavily now
Yeah.
from all these genres. What does she bring back to country if
her
she does?
first genre. Yeah.
Good point.
It's very interesting. Well, next will be a cat. So
Yes.
let's wait for that. So there. Sobrang supersized episode. We are done and we have loved this discussion so much.
That's-
We will now go on a super short break and we'll be back with our last bit of popcorn. So guys, you know who else I love aside from Taylor Swift?
Who, Cholo?
Guess who? I mean, Carly Rae Jepsen, we've been
my
talking about her.
course, yeah,
And
yeah.
wow, apparently, hindi naman pala apparently, we've been talking about it, but she's coming back to Manila in
Yes.
Wow, we are
October
blessed.
23. We have been blessed with Iglesia ni Carly realness.
Yeah.
And she's coming back to Manila with the dedicated tour on October 23, 2019 at the New Frontier Theater. And guess what? Tickets are on sale in a few days.
Yes.
On
Yeah.
August 31st, we can go line up and buy at ticketnet.com.ph or call 911-5555.
Ubusan.
Ubusan yan.
Yeah.
So thank you, Will Bros Live, for bringing Carly Rae back to Manila. And we are back for our last bit of popcorn. Wow, what a discussion.
Grab.
Like,
Wow, yeah.
I can't
It was
even.
long.
It was longer than the album itself,
Yeah.
and the album was long.
well, hindi naman, we had some popcorns in the
Yeah.
beginning, but, I had a blast talking to you guys about Taylor Swift.
Thank you for having us.
Our insight, the whole,
Yeah.
like what we discussed was great.
Our may pinagtunguhan din yung mga kabaliwan natin tungkol kay Taylor Swift. Our theories, music theories.
Nagsama yung mga nagmamarunong
True.
scholars.
So hopefully this warrants us an invitation to the next secret session,
my gosh.
Asia edition. Please, Taylor, if you're listening to this, sorry we judged you on some points of your life, but we love you too much that we made
This is an apology.
from the apologists. We defended you so much to other people. So please invite us to your next secret session. That would be great. So that leads us to our last bit of popcorn, which is the pop stop, or our top picks and recommendations for the week, aside from Lover. So first off, obviously, Lover, go listen to it. Great album.
Yeah.
And check out my playlists. Na iba-ibang version ng Lover.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
I think my pop culture recommendation for the week would be Danny Girl, Manila, a play by Sandbox Collective,
Yeah.
which is running now at the Theater in RCBC.
Hindi na siya sa ngayon, Power Max Circuit. Before it was there, diba?
Yeah. So now it's in the RCBC Theater, and it's basically it's basically from an off-Broadway play. So it's about a little girl who battles with cancer. So soon you'll get better. Soon you'll get better vibes now. It runs until September 1, and it was a great show. Yeah.
Okay. For me, just in terms of pop culture, I've just been streaming Lizzo over and over again. I know it's not new per se, but I mean with her album this 2019, Cause I Love You, it's like, I love that stuff. Like, I think I've been watching with her performance in the VMAs.
Wow.
I was doing that again and again, and I tear up. I get goosebumps when she just says, we're tired of what's going on and everything. And for her to preach that self-love, I think everyone and
it's important.
Needs to hear that regularly. Like, it's nothing new, but listen to it.
And to have
in your head.
her as not a skinny queen, but like
she's a thick B. Can I say that on your show?
Yeah.
So she's a thick bitch and she's not ashamed, and that's so powerful in today's age.
And ang feel good lang siya panoorin, be herself and just enjoy herself and to work for her life.
For her to ask you how are you doing, feeling good as hell, like grabe. Feeling good as hell. I need that in the morning pag mahirap magising, diba? Yeah, but I mean that's my only recommendation because that album needs more attention. Yeah.
And speaking of powerful bitches and music, I recommend Motivation by Normani. Like she is slaying it. Like wow, coming from that Love Lies with Khalid and the song with Sam Smith. Like wow.
I watched her, she opened for Ariana Grande. As in, opener pa lang siya.
Yeah.
But I felt like I got my money's worth when I saw her. And the thing is, nakahiya, pero I didn't know who she was when she got on stage. Like, I had no idea.
Did she sing Motivation na?
No, she
Wala
didn't
pa.
have. This was in June, I think, and she sang Work. She sang Work.
Kasi mga Fifth Harmony stuff.
So she also did she did Rihanna songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this girl is legit, whoever she is. And then
like Camilla better be scared. Because Normani is coming for her.
Yeah, and when she did like dance breaks rin. Like nagwawa
Grabe.
kung ano nung tinatawag
Grabe
niya sa
talaga.
sarili. Ang saya. So when I saw her live, I was like, okay, I have no idea who this girl is, but do you sis, parang tuloy mo yan. Magaling.
Grabe. It's a super strong solo debut.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from those collabs nga, Dancing with a Stranger, everything. Like, wow. And I'm so impressed. Like, I never really stand for Normani during the Fifth Harmony days.
Yeah.
But now, wow.
There,
this is like
this
one
is
of
for
the
her
best
to shine.
bops of the year, for sure.
Like she has this clear R&B sound that's very modern and fresh.
Yeah.
Parang ang saya lang. Like, I think she's an important part of the new pop culture for this year.
And I mean, it really shows how women are at the top of their game in 2019 in the music industry.
Yeah.
So good on Normani, even Camilla, Taylor, Lizzo, everyone. I mean, Carly, of course.
Like, this makes me think nga of, like, 2016 was the last time I remember this was a particularly strong year in music.
Ako 2017 was good
2017
for me.
you. For me, I remember, I think maybe if I remember correctly, in 2016 it was Lord. You also had Frank Ocean's Blonde, I think, that year. So
Was Melodrama 2016?
Or
It's 2017.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
2017. But like I was
That
thinking, like
span of time.
that span of time, yeah. Like there
And
was
then
just a lot going
you
on.
had After Laughter by Paramore. You had
Yes,
Harry
that was
Styles.
good.
Yes.
You had so many, yun nga, Melodrama.
Yeah.
So many good albums.
I mean, this year-
Reputation, I would say that.
Yeah.
This year we started with Thank You Next.
Yeah.
With this, like
Yeah.
come on, this is an exciting year. I think that we.
Yeah.
It's been a while, so that's.
Yes, women.
Slay.
So, yun, those are our... I mean, aside from that, I think I'm watching The Staircase on Netflix.
Oh.
It's a really long documentary,
Yeah.
but I love true crime.
I watched
Not the
it,
crime,
yeah,
but
the true.
the true.
Yeah.
The true part.
Pero it's really interesting. It really digs deep into the case. Pero yun nga, my ano lang is that it's a bit too long.
Yeah.
Medyo inaantok ako watching it.
Yeah.
Kasi yung
Yeah.
pace niya is really slow, but yun, it's still a nice documentary if you're really into true crime. And if you've seen Trial and Error by NBC, the NBC comedy, they parodied this case
Yeah.
into a comedy. So yun, any last plugs?
I'm also
Bate?
looking forward to watching Weathering with You.
Ooh, it's coming out this week.
This
It's
week.
come out
Coming out this
today.
week, yeah.
I mean yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's Oscar nominated, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Already.
It has been, so
Wow.
So go watch that.
Exciting.
I haven't, well, obviously hindi pa kami nakanood, pero abangan din natin yan. So any last plugs, goodbyes, bate to anyone?
Wala. Kamusta po kayo dyan?
To our-
OFW.
To our future lover. Wow.
Oo. Applications are open. Check out.
Ako, I'd like to thank you guys for
Yeah,
being
no,
here.
thank you.
Hashtag
Thank you
apologist
for
squad.
having us.
I love this so much.
Just fun for us,
it
right?
was, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, thank you to everyone who's listening. I'd like to thank also Miss Kate of Random Republica and Mr. Richard of Lionheart TV. I was asking around for tips on how to grow a community
that's
of
nice.
like people who would listen to you. Kasi
Yeah.
sila, Lionheart
Yeah.
is a big blog and even Random Republica. So thank you for answering my questions and being so kind as to entertaining me.
Yeah.
So thank you, Miss Kate and Sir Richard. So of course, go listen to all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you can stream your podcasts. And syempre, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, subscribe and rate us on Apple Podcasts para nando pa rin tayo sa new and noteworthy list. And balik sana tayo. I hope Taylor puts us back on the Spotify charts. Please. And of course, do follow us on @popcorn with Cholo on IG, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, all the social media accounts. So yun, messages for comments, recommendations, and what you'd like to see next
No,
on
and I love
Popcorn.
when the listeners comment in on what
Yeah.
we discuss. Like,
Grabe,
that happened
natuwa ako
That happened
dun.
with Hello, Love, Goodbye, with people agreeing, disagreeing,
Yeah.
the references. And I was like, this is
Thanks to you, thanks to the
Yeah.
cloud.
No, I think you give this what I mentioned last time on that episode I was with. Like Cholo has at least this platform where we can have insightful discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are gonna talk about these albums, the
Yeah.
shows anyway. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. And for me,
Hindi
I
lang siya
Engage each other.
240
Yeah.
characters. It's more.
Let's ask why we like these things.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang
Yeah.
it's always good to investigate that. Yeah.
So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
That was a
Thank you.
super fun episode. And that has been it for this week's episode of Popcorn. We love you, Taylor Swift. Goodbye.